29.
28.
27.
26. 25.
24.
23.
22. 21.
20.
19.
18.
17.
16.
15.
14.
13. 12.
11.
10.
8.
6.
6. What happened to 7?
7.
5.
4.
3.
2. 1.
0.
Messing around and I forgot to set up my lights. Completely forgot until I looked and I was like, man, it looks awful dark in here. And I hadn't even set up my studio lights. Give me just a second. I gotta change this just a little bit to the right. I had a friend stop by, or we would have went right at 2, but had a friend stop by and hell, there's only 6 of you here. I may as well just not even be here. I could have just started it up and walked away and just left the background up and it would have been fine. Trying to get these lights in the right position here. Where the fuck is everyone? So there we go. That's but goddamn, Chunk, you're that's where my feet go, buddy. I am joined in the studio by the production assistant. He's out here making a mess. Let's see here, Mock Clown. Your coffee is on its way, and thanks to y'all, I won the. What did you just walk off with? He grabbed something off. Hang on a second. I'll be right back. The dog grabbed something and walked off with it. Jump. I don't even know. I don't even know how he found the milk cap that I just caught him with. Like he finds stuff like it's not that there hasn't been a milk cap out here. So at any rate, Mock Clown, I sent your coffee off. It is warm out here right now. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. So we are going to we're gonna look at only American EDC items. So hey, no, bud, you're all in the courts. Come on. Lay down. It's gonna pull my computer up. No, stop. Oh, buddy. So I'm gonna drink an American beer, Pacifico. It's Mexico's in America. And we opened it with my Klein Tools bottle opener. I have several different bottle openers that we're gonna use throughout the live feed. And since I don't have a American flashlight, all I have is O-lights. I can't find my little one that, hey bud. The light that I'm carrying today is my Zippo. So you guys want to tell me what's in your pocket? What's in your pocket this 4th of July weekend? And I'm not doing a live feed for the actual 4th, so this is going to be the one. The rest of the day is going to be spent by me and the dog in the yard with his pool. So the coffee's waiting at the post office. I had to reschedule the delivery. If not, I'll have to pick it up. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. So now begins the actual Pride Month. This should be Pride Month, American Pride Month, 4th of July, the whole month dedicated to U.S. Pride. I don't know if you guys saw this. This live feed is absolutely going to be demonetized because I want to say these things. There has been a big shift. I'm really happy about it. I marked myself safe from paying for anyone else's college debt. Marked myself safe for that on Facebook. So we're good with that. And I no longer have to worry about my daughter facing down racism when she applies for college because affirmative action has now been repealed. So carrying the mini nightshade, flipping my new TR Atom, such a nice. I like the Atom. You know what's even better is the shadow. It's like the Spyderco Shaman and a Benchmade 940 got drunk at a party and had an illicit affair, and that is the unclaimed love child of that pairing. It's such a good night. Big victories. And everybody's throwing a fit. I'm like, if you read the Constitution, They are absolutely following the intent of the Constitution. The president does not have control of the purse strings. No matter how much you want him to be able to do that, he's got to have a law that says he can. There's no law on the books that says the president has that ability. The legislative branch, Congress, controls the purse strings for the U.S. government. Has been since the first time since they signed the Constitution. So how have I been? I have been good, Jeremiah. Carrying the nightshade. Which one's the nightshade? The mini nightshade. I don't remember. So with that being said, I am running lights. I am using software that I pay for. I'm using a lot of electricity. I'm going to say a lot of unpopular things being the 4th of July, and I'm going to say some shit because I really feel I should. This is going to be a demonetized live feed. So if you can support, please do. But I will tell you, Coffee Brand Coffee is running a sale. I am as well, Winston. It's 4th of July. It's my weekend. I'm going to. Winston Cobretti here. I think everybody had a fucked up week. I do not know. Let's see. This is going to scare the shit out of the dog. A lot less. He does not like the kangaroo flute. I'm going to tell you that right now. So we're just doing that. So, yeah, I had a pretty effed up week, too. They raided my neighbor's house yesterday morning at 5:30 in the morning. I had to go answer a bunch of questions. I can't really talk about it too much, but there's some shit going on in my neighborhood. But today, the plan is for today, I'm carrying only American-made knives. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean USA-made. American-made. So in my pocket right now is my Golden Colorado PM2 in S90V that was a gift to me from Zorro, who I have not seen in a while. What's up, Chef Rocky? And also Fair and Forged Knife Works Master Blaster, also 100% USA-made items. So what's everybody else got in their American-only EDC? Oh, even my bottle openers. This is a Wasteland Oddities. What'd they call this? The beverage cleaver. This was done by San Diego Precision Machining for Wasteland Oddities out of titanium. These things are hard to come by. They are kind of rare. So that is my beverage cleaver bottle opener. And I also am using this weekend my, like I said, my Klein Tools bottle opener, which is in their tool catalog. You guys believe that? So there's 14 people here. I don't know how many likes. I'd appreciate it if you drop likes. Well, there was 14 people. Now there's, every time I mention how many people are here, it drops. Maybe I should not mention that. But if you're here and you haven't dropped a like, I'd appreciate it. So we had movie night last night for paying members. It was a lot of fun. If you guys got gifted a membership by Rocky, there is a link to the Gilded server in the members only area on my communities tab. And that community tab has got all kinds of stuff that if you're not following it as a member, there's a members only section there. There's a members section on my main page. At this point, if you guys aren't getting, if you guys aren't going there and joining the Gilded server, because I just checked to see if anyone had gotten, anybody had like signed up and I hadn't authorized them yet. Well, then shame on you. I'm not going to continue. Like, I would love to be able to give you giveaway stuff to all of the members. But if you're not going to the Gilded server and signing up, then you are wasting the gift that Rocky has given you. I just wish that Rocky was able to pick and choose who he gifted memberships to. So he has been very, very, very generous to donate a lot of gift memberships to the chat section, and people just are not taking advantage of it. And I just don't think that that's, I think it's kind of wasteful. But yeah, some of my biggest supporters right there, Mr. Winston Cabretti and Mr. Rocky Cordova. two of the biggest supporters I've got. I mean, everybody that's a member is a big time supporter, but the fact is, like, no one has done more than those two. Other items that will get carried throughout this weekend, because this weekend, that's why I'm not going to film much, because most people aren't going to, they'll be like, it's the same shit all over again. I have several other American-made knives. Most notably, I'm going to be carrying my Grimsmo Norseman a lot, which is just not an uncommon thing. But Canada is part of America. The USA's hat. I told my wife that. She's like, Canada's not America. I was like, North America. She's like, Mexico's not America. I was like, Central America. And she's like, hey, 2A Dave's here. Look, hey, Dave. Happy 4th of July. Am I going to start vlogging? Start vlogging what? I don't know. There's going to be some stuff. There's going to be stuff that I do. I'm going to start just filming some stuff, day-to-day stuff. And the members have said this before. I'm just going to start filming some day-to-day stuff when I'm not filming for the channel. And that's going to be stuff that I just put up for the paying members. I'm just going to post it up as members only. I'm not going to do a lot of other. So there's Rocky right there. That's who I'm talking about. Happy 4th of July. So, you know, I've got other stuff. I've got my Sebenza that you can't see real clear. It looks gray, but it's absolutely green. Anybody that's seen it in person knows that it's absolutely a green anodizing job on that. I love the Sebenza. The Sebenza has been one of my favorite knives for the last, I don't know. When did I get my first one? Well, before I started. So I started this channel 2015. So that's 7 years. And I'd had one for several years before that. Probably the last 10. I think I've had a Sebenza for probably the last 10 or 12 years. I had a 25 at one point. I had a Sebenza 25. Now also known as the, not the Inkosi. We just talked about it. What's the Sebenza 25 now known as? The one with the extra finger choil. It's just basically the Sebenza 25. It's not the Inkosi. Somebody remind me. At any rate, I had one, and I had it for a very short period of time, and I didn't like it. And I had already gotten my Sebenza, my new Sebenza 21, and I took it. I was getting ready to sell it, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to give that. So I gave it to my best friend, Clint, as a birthday present. He still carries it a lot. It's a real, the 25 was a really good knife. I just didn't feel the same way in my hand as the 21 did. So I should have recorded. Okay. The reason I did not record anything that was going on across the street was, one, there was a lot of different law enforcement agencies here. So there was an event that happened. They raided my neighbor's house. There was San Diego Squad, U.S. Marshals, DHS, border dogs, drug dogs and stuff like that. All over. They had the street blocked off. They had us leave our house. They were like, come out of the house, kicking doors in and shit. And I was like, here's the thing. Like, I do understand that I absolutely could film that. Like, it's not against my, but the fact is, when you have someone that's recording, no, I'll talk about it in a members only video, Rocky. It's having done law enforcement. It is very problematic to have somebody that's filming, because they're going to try, like, if someone's filming, that's the person that's going to wind up underfoot. And that's the person that you have to direct you have to take attention away from the actual event. And you have to take your attention from the actual thing that you're doing and pay attention to them, because that person is the most likely, not necessarily to interfere, but just to wind up getting in the way because they're trying to get a better shot of what's going on. Like, oh, I want to see what's going on. I have no problem with the First Amendment auditors that you see, but there's a lot of them that go too far, and then they interfere, and they're arguing with the cops and stuff like that. And so it just becomes problematic. And I didn't want to be that person. And because I had a friendship with this person, I wound up having to fucking go answer a bunch of questions. So I did film a little bit. I did film a little bit from my daughter's room, but like I said, for a big chunk of it, we got asked to leave our homes. We were asked to leave our homes. They had the street blocked off. They asked those houses. Yeah, the First Amendment auditors. I got no problem with it, but the problem is a lot of those First Amendment auditors are just trying and trying and trying to they're trying to elicit a response. As opposed to just like filming what's actually happening, they're trying to instigate something to happen. Most notably was a guy named Glenn Serio. And Glenn Serio was a guy that, like, if I saw him in public, I would probably wind up being the one that was like, hey, you got to cuff me because, yeah, he's bleeding. It's a complete piece of shit. So what else? What's some of everyone's favorite USA EDC items? And I have one up there and I want to do it, but you guys haven't. I want to get it out and tell you about it. But you guys have not seen the first day of carry. The Armed Fisherman's always doing his 2A audits. I'm trying to see if I left any. Oh, I did leave another one over there that's going to be in my daily carry for this weekend. I forgot. It's over here. Hang on. Forgot to grab it. I thought I had it. Thought I had it grabbed. It's my Spyderco Police. This spends a lot of time in pocket. So between I foresee most of the weekends going to be my my Para 2. Oh no, never mind. I'm sorry, I forgot. This is Seki City, Japan. My bad. My bad. That's not going to be in pocket. T-Kel American made EDC for fixed blades all the way. Well, that's what I'm talking about. I have your limit. What's the name of that one, Winston? What's the name of that knife? I cannot remember. I do know it's that limited run with Eric Outer. Now, I will apologize to you guys. I had a guest that I was trying very, very hard to get on this weekend, and I just never got a response. I've tried a couple times. I've tried a couple times, and it's just been problematic with two. It's not the same person, but I just like the last couple times it's been problematic to even get a response back. They're like, "Oh, I'm interested," and you're like, "Okay." And then I'm like, all right, well, let's talk about, scheduling, and then nothing. And then so I didn't get anything back from that person. And so I reached out to the Outer Limitless Accomplice. There you go. It's called the Accomplice. I reached out to Chris over at Cerberus Knives. Unfortunately, both of the knives that 2A Dave, all of the knives that Will B just mentioned, he says all of these knives, with the exception of his axial gear shift, are at my house. So I have his Norseman, I have his Stitch, and I have his ProTech Microtech. I have his ProTech Mordax. Sorry. Guys, I'm going to apologize. So some of the videos you're going to see are not, it seems like I'm kind of disinterested. So I want to get this out of the way ahead of time. I might seem kind of disinterested in some of the videos I'm saying. You might not get like that level of, "Ooh, hey, I really love this." And it's 100% because I have to think real hard to make the words come out, because I am currently taking gabapentin. Now, I'm not going to take today's dose of gabapentin because I'm drinking. So that you're not supposed to if you're going to take it. So like, I'm not going to take it tonight. So the gabapentin affects your ability to speak. And so there's a lot of refilming and things like that. So there's a lot of redos. There's a lot of takes, and I haven't been saving them because they're not even like entertaining goofs and things like that. So I haven't been saving them for B-roll. But there has been a lot of refilming and takes, and I'll say something and I go back and refilm it, and then I'll go back and refilm it, which is why that there's less content going up. I'm only doing one video a day because it's been very hard to do more than film one video a day. So I'm trying to just stay on an even keel and at least get one video a day filmed and edited so that I can get it out, because I have a handful of videos that you guys have not seen yet that were filmed before I went on this medication, because I have to get ahead because my wife has a fairly major surgery on the 27th. So we're planning on me having to take the better part of at least a week off and just dedicate my time to taking care of her and stuff like that. So that's why some of the videos might seem weird. And I've got some that I filmed earlier that before I took it that I have not released yet. So there's stuff I filmed last month that you guys haven't seen yet. So it's just like, well, and that's, the doctor told me that the gabapentin, I have to get to a titration level. So first I was taking 1 pill a day. Now I'm taking 2. I won't today because I've been drinking, but, and then a week later I would, if I need, I can move to 3. And gradually over that period of time, it stops affecting you. You basically acclimate to it. But that's a lot of what we're taking. So it's replaced my pain medication and my anxiety medication. It seems to work really well for my anxiety. The trazodone I was taking was it was too much. It was horrible. I just couldn't function, and I stopped taking it. I weaned myself off the trazodone. But that was an added benefit. So the nerve pain was my main complaint. And he was like, well, if we give you this, we'll probably take you off your anxiety medicine. I was like, oh, I don't take that anyway. So trazodone it was too much. Couldn't take it. So other knives that are in my American-made EDC throughout the weekend are going to be, like I said, so we've already I have got a lot. I have a lot of, see, everybody just immediately assumes because they see my channel, everybody immediately assumes I don't have any American-made knives. You don't have any USA-made knives. I have a lot of American-made knives. I have got 6. I have just in the top row 6. I have 6 just in the top row of my knives, and a lot of them are Ferrum Forged knife work knives. Well, that's Gingerfish. That sounds like you have got an arthritic inflammation, because the anti-inflammatory is that I can't pronounce it, but that they gave me that for the arthritis that I do have in some of my joints, and that's what that's for. Could you do a drunken knife review like Matthew Jensen does with swords sometimes? No, because I literally have not been drunk. I haven't been drunk in a long time. I quit drinking. I've had a few drinks. The last time I did was when we did that movie night. When we did the movie night with me and you, and then I did then watched another movie, Bubbles. That was the last time, and that was not a night that I was going to be doing any knife reviews. So I don't, to tell you the truth, I don't like getting drunk. I don't enjoy it as much as I did. Like, I'll have a few beers. I do not enjoy getting drunk like I used to, and I definitely do not enjoy the aftermath. I wake up the next day and I absolutely feel like crap. Yes. You do remember, and they weren't good videos. And the fact is, I don't like being drunk. I like having a few beers, but not getting drunk anymore. I finally kind of matured a little bit. You remember when I did live feeds where I would drink a half. I'd do a live feed on Instagram and drink a half a bottle of rye in an hour-long live feed there, and then go eat, and then come back later and do a live feed on YouTube and finish the bottle. You remember that? You remember some old school stuff. Bro, I'm okay. So here is the deal. I'm not announcing anything more for the members. So if you are a paying member and you're not on the Gilded server, you are going to miss out. I'm going to also I'm going to start moving my live feeds away from YouTube. I think I'm going to start doing my lunchtime live feeds from here because this is kind of more comfortable. I'm going to do some of them from here, but they're going to be on Rumble, and then they're going to be on Rumble, and then it's going to be over here. So if you're going to be on here, I'm not going to read any of the comments. I'm going to do it. I'm going to try and start doing, I'm going to find a streaming service that works with Rumble, because my live feeds are going to move to Rumble. I'm going to tell you why. I am totally tired of the fact that YouTube has demonetized every one of my live feeds. And that's why I was saying, like, if you guys can afford to drop super chats on live feeds, it would be great. I don't know why my live feeds in particular are getting demonetized. I've talked with other creators and they're like, mine aren't. And Jared definitely says things on his live feeds that are much more provocative than the things I say. Yet his live feeds aren't getting demonetized and mine are. So I don't know what it is. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm saying. But at this point, I've just decided that, like, YouTube is probably not the place for me for the majority of things that I want to say. I'll still do the videos and stuff, but you need to follow me on Rumble. There's a link to my Rumble channel on all of my videos. And starting soon, I'm going to be doing an Angry Veteran podcast on Rumble, and I'm going to talk a lot of shit. So you guys might want to follow me on Rumble. The channel is going to be the same. It's just I'm going to make a channel specifically for my podcast. Polly's going to be joining me there. We might call it the Peanut Butter and Pickles Angry Vet Podcast. But the fact is, I want to do it in a fashion where Polly does not have to be there. And I'm going to try to do as many of those as I can. What I'm going to do is I'm going to record them here. I'm going to record them here and then post them up. And they're only going to be on Rumble. I may put them up. I may make a separate channel on YouTube and mirror that content. But that podcast is only going to be on Rumble. I'm really just tired of the fact, like, so they came out and now there's like another adpocalypse coming. And I'm like, since April, most of us have lost like 40% of our income on YouTube. It's just gotten ridiculous. And I'm like, I see that they're still running ads, and yet our income is going down. Well, what they've done is smaller channels like mine, they're like, well, it's costing us money to monetize these channels. We will just not recommend these channels. We'll recommend these channels the top 1%. And a lot of that's bots. So, hey buddy, did you wake up? I have a very, very sleepy puppy. So yeah, like I said, if you're watching, I mean, but here's the thing. Even Jared has talked about the massive drop in income he's made. I mean, even big channels with millions of subscribers are talking about that. And it's just sad that, like, for a very, very large platform that leads the industry in ads, that they cannot support their creators properly is just sad. And you can't get any support when the only support you can get for a channel like mine is to reach out to YouTube on Twitter, and then you get the same AI generated response every fucking time. Like, hey, people aren't getting notifications. They're like, oh, just make sure that they're on the right channel and they've got to hit their bell. I'm like, how do I do that? Loot 10 text needs a few more pre-orders to keep the dream alive. Hook a brother up. Order me one while you're at it. What is this? Is this a startup? Is this a Kickstarter? if that's a Kickstarter, somebody would be ever so, if one of the, if you transition, you'll get support. The only transition I'm going to make is to go to Rumble. Like I said, the live feeds, I can do these live feeds like this on Mondays. Like, I will leave this studio set up pretty much all weekend. I'm not filming anything this weekend. Monday, I will probably do a lunchtime live. What is Monday? When is the 4th? Tuesday, right? What day is? I'm not going to lie to you. I did not want Pacifico. Pacifico, I did not want to buy, as much as I like Pacifico, I did not want. Chef Rocky, why are you becoming a member? You've been a member for a while. What? We're going to use our next American-made bottle opener. The Wasteland Oddities beverage cleaver. I should have done with the echo on. And we'll switch placement of that bottle. It's the best way to Tuesday. Monday, I may do a live feed. I don't know. The wife and the kid are off. The wife and the kid are off from now until Wednesday night. So I think America. Trying to fold that other A in. Any rate. Oh, you upgraded. You upgraded. Oh, okay. What else do I have that's American? Oh! Another great American photo. This, I bought this shirt. I was at Goodwill and I saw this shirt and it was in 2XL and I was like, I got to have that. This knife right here, made in Florida. This is the Heretic Knives Medusa. Heretic Knives Medusa. So, but back to what I was saying, and this is a big plug for me to try and get you guys to drop super chats. Or I would love you guys all to join a membership. If I get more members, it gives me more incentive to generate members content. And I hate to admit, I did do a members only video. I did a members only video the other day. I filmed the whole thing. It was supposed to be just like a behind the scenes thing, like a lot of them are. And I don't know what happened. There was zero audio. I filmed it after I did my big shopping trip. So if you guys don't know, there is a big video coming up. I think it's going to be the video for tomorrow. It's like 30 minutes. I pared it down to 30 minutes. There are 49 separate segments. I went to every military exchange in a 100-mile radius. I drove 90. I put the mileage on the thing, but when you look at, like, I did some outside driving and things like that. On that day, I left the house. I started filming. I got up and I got everything set up and I started at 9:45 in the morning. I left the house at 10:24 and I got back to Imperial Beach and the house at like 5:11 p.m. I drove from base to base to base, and it was about 97 miles round trip, if I remember. So I filmed at every one of the military exchanges, shopping to show you guys what knives are available, and I stopped at Fair & Forge Knife Works. I do have to tell you, not USA made. This is made offshore, I have to say. Fair & Forge Knife Works has a sale going on. 4th of July sale this weekend. You can use my coupon code on top of the already discounted price. My coupon code is Crazy Sharp. Now, I want to be very clear about this. I'm very good friends with the boys. I want to support them the best ways I can. You can get these knives on Blade HQ where I make a cut of it. But I would absolutely prefer that, since they are friends of mine, rather than screw them out of their cut, I would much rather that you get the discount, take my discount and stack on top of their sale, and go to their website where I don't make a penny and purchase their new button lock. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. This is probably one of the most comfortable little folders that I've had in a very long time. Listen to this thing on the, let's put this in the echo box. So I had the prototype, which is significantly thinner, and I liked it. This is my prototype. I refinished it and everything. This is my prototype, mine to keep, of the original liner lock version. But this button lock is so much more comfortable. I'm glad you like the stickers. So in there should have been a glow-in-the-dark patch from my friend. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. I got a dog about to run out. Chunk, no. In the house. In the house. In the house. In the house. In. Whew. The wife opened the garage door and the dog went running for the garage door. He was asleep on the thing. Man, it is 79 degrees in the studio. And I was going to tell you guys, I believe this is the last day for Longbeard. I think I'm going to trim this back down and keep it that way for a while. It was a little warm last summer with that much hair on my face. So, what do you like better, the new button lock Fair & Forge or the Aloris? So Aloris was knife of the year last year. The Aloris is absolutely going to be my preferential pick because it is a little bit bigger. But I don't know where I put the button lock. It jumped up and it went somewhere. I don't know where I put it, but at any rate, the button lock Stinger. Yeah, he probably needs it. I put him out, but I didn't see him peek. Can you close the garage door too? So I love the Aloris. You're not going to beat it with the Stinger, but the Stinger, as far as like how I want to say it. The Aloris is more of a kind of a tactical style folder, and I love it for that. But as far as like everyday use, I think that this is going to be a better user experience just because of the way it's built and the functionality of it. The Aloris is an amazing knife. I love it. I would not change anything about it except the finish that was on it. I changed the finish on mine. But functionality and day-to-day use and just overall more options for use and carry, I think this beats it. I like the Aloris more, but most people are going to like this and find a better use for it. But at any rate, like I said, I think today I'm gonna trim my beard, cut my hair. I'm gonna go back down to just maybe a more acceptable, less Appalachia style beard. There we go. That was driving me nuts. So shit, I'm gonna be 20 next year. Oh shit, I'm gonna be 50 next year. So but yeah, great knife. They've got a 4th of July sale. I don't know what the discounts look like. But they're absolutely allowing you to stack my coupon code on top of the already discounted price. So that's cool. And Coffee Brand Coffee has a 4th of July sale going on. And they just introduced 3 new coffee flavors and 2 new cold brew bag flavors. So now they have orange creamsicle, peaches and cream, and what was the other one? Orange creamsicle, peaches cream, hazelnut cream. So that sale started yesterday. So, I don't want to keep hashing on it, but I will remind you guys, this isn't a free live feed. I have to pay for everything we're using, internet, all this stuff. So if you can join the memberships, please do so, or drop a super chat if you can. I try not to get discouraged about it. Like I'll watch other people's live feeds and people are just dropping super chats. And I'm like, it seems weird. And I don't want you to think I'm complaining. So here's how I look at it. Like I see these channels that I know make a ton of ad revenue and they get more super chats. And then you have channels that really try hard and work hard, like me and Stasa and Zach stuff and stuff like that, where we're just struggling to even be able to afford the stuff we need to do the channel. And then everybody's like, oh, I'm not dropping that channel sucks. I'm not dropping super chat. And so channels that really don't need the super chats get them, and channels that absolutely need the super chats to survive don't. I don't understand it. Like, I get it. Like, those are the more popular channels, but like, I'm like, how does that even, like, because when I drop super chats, I very rarely, like, I drop super chats on Jared's channel, and every once in a while I'll drop one on like the Quartering, which is a huge channel. And I know they don't need it per se, but most of the time when I drop super chats, it's on small little channels that are going live that that most of you guys won't even follow. There's some weird offshoot channels that I drop super stickers and stuff on. Clown. It's not when you turn 50. It's when you turn 40. It's when you turn 40. That's when. Has nothing to do, like 50. If you have not gotten one by the time you're 50, I never got a colonoscopy until I was 49, and I kept trying to get one. So, and see, here's the thing. Like, I get upset because I get frustrated. The second I mention like how hard it is to run the channel and like that the super chats absolutely are the only thing that makes small channels survive, people drop out. They're like, ah, fuck, here we go. That's why I'm moving these live feeds. I'm moving these to Rumble because, one, I've only got 16 viewers here. Last time I did a live feed on Rumble, I had 300 views while I was doing the live feed. By the end of the day, I had gotten 1,700 views. There's 16 people here. So I'm just done. I'm basically done with live feeds on Rumble, and I'm gonna tell StreamYard, I'm about to send them a message like, if you don't add Rumble directly to your list of things, then if you don't add Rumble directly to your list, then I'm going to stop paying, because I'm paying for the software we're currently using. So it's just ridiculous. So thank you very much, Q1 Fiend. Appreciate that. No, I needed it there, Mock Clown. I didn't want it. Hang on a second, Q1 Fiend. I'll give you your Amzir in just a second. I needed it because they kept pushing it off. I had a bunch of medical issues for a year.
Thanks, buddy. I'm gonna get in real close and whisper to you. Do you think this is what it sounds like when that fat chick from the Travelocity commercials that's eating a ham while she's getting her feet rubbed? Do you think this is what it sounds like when that disgusting fat bitch is all up in your ear? Dave, I bet you would do something nasty to the chick I just mentioned.
Do small giveaways like keychains or something cheap would get the viewers, I think. Here's the thing, Paul. I do that occasionally. But the fact is, I don't like that, because you know what? If you're here because you want to win something, because I'm giving something away, screw it. And the fact is, I get those views. That adds, those giveaways add to the cost. I literally just sent off 6 packages on Monday. So, like, I sent off like 6 packages. Or, I'm sorry, not on Monday, Thursday. So, let me ask you a question. With doing those small giveaways, would that offset what I'm like the amount of I'm making and sending and shipping? Would that be more or less than I make? Because I don't get monetized on my live feeds. They demonetize every fucking one of my live feeds. So I'm just, but okay, Paul. You gonna make me some free stickers? Because the stickers I sent out, I paid for. And I got news for you. Stickers ain't fucking cheap. Unless you make them yourself, which still isn't cheap, because you got to have the printer, you got to have the cutter, you got to have everything you need for that. So all those things that you guys talk about, none of that shit's free, which is why I say, if you guys want things like that to happen, like the giveaway stuff that I do, I'm going to have to stop doing any giveaways. I can't afford shipping. I looked at what I paid in shipping the other day. It was not cheap. How much are they? Stickers are expensive. Go look at any website and see what they cost. I forget what I paid. I want to say I paid $100 for the batch of stickers. So I had two or three different stickers made. I had 2 stickers made in 3 different sizes. That's what it was. Here for the free knowledge you're giving away. Sharpie Brock Boy, Sharpie Brock Boy. But see, he pays for the content. You'd like to have a Crazy Sharp sticker. I'm not doing any more sticker packs. Because it cost me the same amount. Because what I did the other day when I did shipping, it cost me the same amount to send a sticker pack to Rubicon as it did to send the knives. And I'm like, well, that's just ridiculous. Hey, guys. Hey, guys. I'm broke. So instead of giving away a keychain, we're giving away some rice from my kitchen that fell on the floor. Hope you enjoy it.
Are you making a racist joke because my wife is Japanese? Is that what's happening here? So that's what's going on? Do you find this voice disturbing?
Nathan, did you get...
Not far enough. Nathan, did you get your item? I sent it off on Thursday. You may have already gotten it, and I hope. Stickers are expensive. Nathan says, I won the giveaway, but I was watching because I watch almost every live stream, and I confirm stickers are expensive. They are. Stickers are expensive. Oh, Jesus Christ. I keep turning that on. Sorry. That sounds oddly like Gail from Bob's Burgers. Okay. So yeah, I just Nathan, let me know if you got it. I'm hoping.
If you thought I was serious, then you have an intellectual handicap. I don't get offended by much.
I don't. It was a joke. It absolutely was a joke. I should have been. Yeah, I hope it comes today. I can't remember what you won. I could check my notebook. I could check my notebook, but I'm not sure. Here's the other thing. The reason I'm not going to do a lot of sticker giveaways, I don't have very many stickers left. I've given away. So if you got giveaways, most of the people that got giveaways got stickers. So it was USPS. It's a UPS or FedEx. Yeah, okay. Like, I'm paying that. It was the cheapest way possible in a brown mead envelope with your name and address on it that I taped up and handed to them and was like, yep, get it there. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, yours is in yours. Yours is in an actual in a bubble mailer. Everybody else's stuff, I went and bought some just cheap brown manila envelopes, and I seal them and then fold them over and then tape them. Do you have them for sale? Stickers, I mean? No, I don't. I don't do merch anymore, guys. I don't know if you noticed. I had a merchandise store. It's okay. I'm going to tell you one of the most frustrating things. Like, this is, I gotta use my voice, all the horrible thoughts.
So, this is the voice in my head that says all the horrible things. So, I'm going to tell you guys a little secret that is the most frustrating thing as a YouTuber. You guys tell me you want something, and I put a lot of fucking work into it. And I get a merchandise store, and I make up logos, and I get stuff designed, and I pay for design work and shit like that. And then I send it off to get merchandise store, and no one buys a fucking thing. I sold 12 total t-shirts. That's that many. I paid more for the design logo than I did for the last knife I bought. And I made a quarter of that.
You guys know that, right? Like, to be able to have t-shirts made with a logo, you got to pay somebody that can take your thought and the pictures, because you can't just send off to silk screening a picture, a JPEG. You can't do that. That's not how it works. That's not how those systems work. It's almost like designing a knife. You got to have a specific work, and which means that you got to pay someone to take your design and put it. I had an entire merchandise store. I sold 12 shirts. I paid to have that logo made so that I could send it off to have it done by my friend at Ember Shirt Co. I paid over $300 for the logo to be done in a fashion that would work on silk screening. Because everybody's like, when are you going to sell shirts? When are you going to do merch? When are you going to do that? When are you going to have this? When are you going to have coffee cups again? I had coffee cups for almost a year. No, I had, every time I do a live feed, everybody's like, oh, you should get shirts. You should get shirts. You should get shirts. I got emails. When are you going to do shirts? I got comments. When you get shirts? When you get shirts? Well, that's too bad, clown. They don't exist anymore. Shirts don't exist anymore. The company that was doing my shirts was like, this is, I can't afford to keep it on. Like, I'm not even keep it on the website. I'm just going to take it off. My merchandise store no longer exists. They don't even do print on demand anymore. So I had way more than 12 people wanted shirts. How much were the shirts? I think they were $20. Paul? Yeah. Will has one. Will has one. Elliot has one. 2A Dave has one. Tino has one. My buddy Nico bought 2. There's 6. 6 out of the 12 shirts that got sold. I have 2 that I bought, makes 7 and 8. So technically only 10 shirts got sold. Another case in point. You guys, since we're on this, and I'm going to espouse some unpopular opinions. Winston ordered a shirt. It never showed up. I think that Winston, I'm going to tell you right now, I think that's because they were in that transition period where they were like, look, it's not affordable for us to keep this website up for print on demand. And that's why they took it down. And you ordered it like right at the end. And I don't think that the website was actually functional. And I've talked to my buddy a couple times, and he's like, I can't, like, those records don't exist anymore. So the, what was I getting ready to say? Oh, the other thing. So you guys will comment like, I want to see this. 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 And I'll do a video about it. And I'll get like literally see a bunch of comments like, oh yeah, like somebody will comment and then a bunch of people will put piggyback on it. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. I would watch that video. I want to watch that video. And then like, I'll see like a whole bunch. And those videos that you guys say you want are the worst performing videos. Everybody's like, you don't, I had coffee cups, stickers, hoodies, bath mats, shower curtains. When I had the first merchandise store, the company that was doing it, they put my logo on fucking everything. So I have a crazy sharp coffee cup. I'll go get it here in a second. I'll show you exactly what you missed out on. So I've had people like, oh, you don't do enough USA made knives. You don't do enough USA made knives. the last 4 videos I've done on USA Made Knives, in the title, USA Made Knives, guess what? They have been the worst performing videos I've done. So it tells me that in the comment section of YouTube, when people say that there's things they want, they don't actually mean it. And so I'm not like attacking you guys. I'm just saying these are the things that other YouTubers, when I talk to like Jeremy at the Quartering, big on this. Like, you guys say you want to hear these things and you never watch the videos once we put them up. I did a video that was specifically requested by an individual. I put it up just a few weeks ago. Well, this is about a couple weeks ago. I reached out to that individual. I was like, I didn't see any comments. He's like, oh, I didn't watch it. I'm like, I did that video specifically based on your request. Like, you know. Those are the frustrating things. Those are the things that we always deal with. Hang on a second. I'll get the coffee cup. I'll show you what you missed out on. It's an awesome coffee cup. So these were available in 2 different versions. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to keep that comment up. These were available in 2 different versions. You could get a white cup with a black logo and lettering, or a black cup with white, or a white cup with black. Guess how many of these sold? 2. Guess how many I bought? 1. I purchased 50% of the merchandise on that run. They sent me a sweatshirt to use on my channel, and they adulterated my logo and put something else on it with it. I'm like, So coffee cups, stickers, and hoodies. I had all of those. My first merchandise store, and it was mentioned in the outro of every video for 2 years. Rocky, reach out to me. I'll talk to Justin and see if he'd be willing to do those for you. The problem is I would have to reach, because what he's going to tell me is like, well, I have to do a minimum order. That's how it's going to have to be now. And I did that once before. And the problem with it was, this is the other time. I did merchandise once before, and I had a minimum order of 50. And I told everybody, I was like, everybody pre-ordered shirts. I want a shirt. I want a shirt. I want a shirt. They all sent me emails, and I got the shirts. And no, it's 40. I got 40 shirts. I had to wind up selling them all to other people. I had to pay up front for the shirts. And so I knew what the cost was going to be. And I added a little bit to each shirt so that I could, the whole point of doing a merchandise store is that you make money on it. You're not trying to do it just to break even. And so I ordered all these shirts. Everybody that sent me their emails, I want a shirt. They're like, I changed my mind. I was like, bro, I already bought the shirt. So like, sucks to suck. So that partially was my fault. So next time I do it, I'm going to have to ask. And what it's going to be is like, I'm going to ask all these people how many shirts they want. They're going to have to pay up front. I'm going to work with Justin and see if I can't do it through them. And then I get a portion of it. But it would have to be a minimum order, and I would have to have a set number of people, and everybody would then have to go and pre-order their shirts. So I'll talk to Justin and see if I can resurrect that a little bit, but it's not going to be just on demand all the time. It's going to be that these are available and you can order them. I use Steam Labs. They do all the stuff and put the image you want on, and it's printed on demand. Yeah, Streamlabs shit sucks. The shirts that Ember Shirt Co. was doing for me were the best quality blanks and the best printing of any company I've ever seen. None of the shirts that they printed for me have faded, and none of the logos, none of the silk screening has broken loose. The first run, the first couple that came out that I had, those ones, they had not figured out how they're going to adhere their printing on. But I've had stuff from Streamlabs, and it lasts maybe 3 washes before it starts getting fucked up. So it's just one of those things, man. Pony Express, Malcolm Holt.
Sorry, it took me a second to get to this selection. Hey, Malcolm. I was going to say something inappropriate about a pony, but I don't know if I want the channel taken down. I'm already demonetized on this live feed, but all I can think of is Freddy got fingered on his way back home and he sees the horse. And, it's disgusting.
Sorry, my bad. So, I'll see. If you guys are interested in it, I'll have to. Here's the deal. Because I know that I can get a hold of these people, I'm only going to offer this merchandise pre-order to paying members. If I can even make it work. It's not going to be a thing. And Winston, if you can provide me with if you can send me a text with your order from them where you got the shirt and it never showed up, I will reach out and I will try to get that shirt for you as part of that. But if you guys are really interested in it, it's only gonna be for the paying members. It would have to be like a set thing. So if you guys want that, that's a paying member thing. I apologize. Like, I know it sounds shitty. But the fact is the paying members are what make this channel. The guys that just hang out and just lurk on the channel, I appreciate the views. I absolutely do, but I'm 100% going to do more for the paying members than I do for anyone else. It's just the way it works. Winston Cobretti has given me probably $600 worth of fucking knives. And I'm not even joking. I've got 2 PMPs, what else have I got? So I've got 2 PMPs that he's given me. I've got the Spyderco Police. Oh, shit!
Bro, for $100, I would damn near tongue your butthole. That's a lot of money. Holy shit. That's one of the highest super chats I've ever gotten. Why does it sound like I'm pooping?
That's fucking disturbing.
Horses have an 18-inch wiener. That's not just something that needs to be said in that voice. That needs to be said to the entire venue. And actually, I think this one would work better. This one. So everybody in the back, in case you didn't hear it, the last number that came up was B16. And Ethel just informed me that she lost her virginity to a horse. She's Ethel. Yeah, this beautiful little old lady up here in front that just got the last bingo. Yeah, she just informed me she lost her virginity to a horse and it had an 18-inch cock. I don't know what it is about having the different soundboards that makes me say, like, I don't say these things when I don't have the voices activated. I don't know if you've noticed that. Aiden, holy shit. Thank you very much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. I can afford hot dogs next week. Not necessarily the hot dogs. I'll like the water. I'll use the hot dog water first, and then I'll feed the hot dogs to the family. And usually I'm relegated to the hot dog water. How? LOL. Aiden has been gone for a while. Aiden has been another huge supporter of the channel. Aiden, Rocky, Winston Cobretti, all of the paying members. And then, I mean, here's the cool thing. The paying membership that let's talk about that for a second. I won't even talk about the coffee stuff, but you guys should try their coffee. It's fucking amazing. The membership has morphed into something different. I call Will B on his cell phone all the time. Winston Cobretti stops by the house. I don't have a drink. 2A Dave will come down and hang out for the day. It's morphed into, we've formed some really good friendships in that Gilded server. Alicord Paracord provided me with some of the coolest stuff you're going to find for the giveaway on the 20th. Oh, the 22nd. Somebody remind me. Talk about the 22nd. Talk about the 22nd. Remind me to talk about the 22nd a little bit. I never figured that setting up that Gilded server where everybody could chat would be such a benefit. But I do believe. Oh, Paul. Holy shit. Sorry, Paul.
Hey, Paul. Thanks. I don't have anything really weird to say at this point, but like, I'll send you a picture of my dirt star later.
And I wonder why my live feeds get demonetized. But at any rate, I never figured that the Gilded server would wind up being something that would be that big of a benefit. And it absolutely has. And I love it because sometimes I won't go into the Gilded server for a day or two because I'm busy. Like I'm fucking filming and editing and it takes a lot of work. And I will log in and I'll try to find back to where I was at. And I'll like have to scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. And so 3 people just started following my Rumble channel. That's a good idea. Like I said, if you're not following me on Rumble, it's just crazy sharp. If you're not following me on Rumble, that's where the live feeds are going to be. I think, and I'm taking my cue. I'm taking my cue from Jeremy over to Quartering. I respect him a lot. I respect him a lot, and I see what he's doing. Financially, it doesn't affect me. You can still drop super chats in live feeds. But I mean, primarily those live feeds are going to be done on Rumble. Yeah, they're not called super chats. They're called rants. You can still do that, but I think I'm going to get more. I think I'm going to get more actual interface with people if I do it on Rumble. YouTube does not like my live feeds. They don't. I'm still going to do all of my content here. And I'm probably going to dual stream it like I always have. It's just it's just really I'm just fed up with the fact that YouTube just hates their creators. They really do. Every time you turn, they're just like, "Oh, we changed the algorithm again." I'm like, "You didn't even give us a chance to start using the new algorithm." But then they promote stuff that no one should promote. I used to like Mr. Beast. I have news for you. Mr. Beast content is the same fucking thing every fucking time. It really is. Yeah, you get swamped on the Gilded server can be daunting to keep up with, especially when you consider there's what do we got now on there? At any rate, we can talk about that towards the end. You know what you haven't gotten yet, so I don't forget. There's 2 things. Don't let me forget Dancing Cat, but there's something new that we have brought to the channel, and not all of you have seen it yet. So I would like to present to you the newest thing that makes me giggle that I found on the internet. And I hope you guys enjoy this. It's going to just be a few, like 30 seconds of your time. So enjoy this.
It is a very rare diamond.
Not that, you've already seen that. It's this one.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, bees fly, hoops fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I?
There you go. That is my new favorite thing on the internet. And if you have not hit the like button, typically I'd say shame on you, but at this point, I don't care. It's my 4th of July weekend. It is the start of actual Pride Month. That shit that happened last month. Oh, I have been so proud. If you guys have taken part in the boycott of Bud Light and Budweiser and Anheuser-Busch products, I am over the moon with all of you that did. And typically, I would say, if you have not hit the like button, please do so. But if you, I know there's a Bob Ross one. There is a Bob Ross one. I'm trying to find a downloadable version. If one of you can send it to me so I can save it, I will put it on here and we'll start shuffling through this. But typically, I'd be like, if you have not dropped a like on this video, please do so. But if you haven't dropped a like on this video so far,
I'm going to use this voice to say it. If you haven't dropped a like yet, fuck you!
because that's what you guys expect from me. I've been doing that boycott my whole life. No, I'm just, well, here, I'm not talking, like, here, don't forget, don't just boycott Anheuser-Busch. I like Busch. I love Busch beer. Not Busch Light. I love Busch beer. So I absolutely stopped at the base today to get what I was going to drink, and they only had Anheuser-Busch products. And I was like, oh, well. And I drove to the bodega up the road, and I bought a 12-pack of Pacifico. Why? Because as much as I looked at it and I saw Busch beer, and I was like, I do love Busch beer. Busch beer is a good beer. And I saw it, and I was like, this sucks. So am I giving up something for this boycott? Yes, I am. I'm giving up a product I absolutely do like. So I am absolutely boycotting all Anheuser-Busch, not just Bud Light. And everybody's like, well, they're giving it away for free now, so fuck it. It's not like, no, it allows them to inflate their sales numbers, and it prevents them from having to spend the money to come pick up the expired beer. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. Come get your garbage. Come get your garbage. And the fact that it now has progressed to the fact that Starbucks, one of the most woke companies, took down their Pride stuff. MLB is looking, they're probably not going to do it next year after their whole kerfuffle with the Dodgers. I do not watch professional sports except for NHL. You know why? Because they made it against the rules for you to kneel at the national anthem. So I'm at the point where I'm just fed up with everything, and I'm going to vote with my wallet. That's why you guys knew this was going to come pretty soon. Coffee Brand Coffee, channel sponsor. Use the coupon code Crazy Sharp at Coffee Brand Coffee. That is a company that absolutely does not take a stance. I am going to start buying products. I'm going to start using, I think it's mammoth.com, which is an Amazon alternative for things that for the things that I can't get, there, I am going to have to use Amazon. But I think that mammoth.com, because they are absolutely not right wing, but more conservative option. And they have a ton of American made products available at a decent price. It's an Amazon alternative. I'm going to start using that for a lot of things. And it's very similar. I haven't used it as much. I've bought one or two things. But I'm going to start voting with my money, because that's where it really hurts them. BlackRock, if you have a 401k or a retirement program and your company is offering, and you ask the company, you're like, is this through BlackRock? And they say yes. You're like, then you would tell them, you start filling out, there's ways that you can fill out like stockholder statements saying what you do and don't want, because BlackRock is one of the companies that's absolutely pushing this. And now that this has come to light that BlackRock is pushing this agenda, I told you this video is going to get demonetized because I've had 2 beers and now I'm in a mood that I'm going to talk about shit I typically don't talk about. So BlackRock is absolutely coming out now. And until 2 months ago, after the Dylan Mulvaney thing, I had never seen a BlackRock commercial. Not once. Now BlackRock is talking about, we do this, and they're using firemen and police officers. If they manage your retirement fund, they are absolutely pushing this agenda, which is costing companies money, which means they don't fucking care about your retirement. Keep that in mind. And as technically a stockholder, because your money is there, you have a voice in that. So if you own stock in a company that's doing that, try to find a class action lawsuit that is going to get you, and the more people that join these class action lawsuits against these companies that are absolutely pushing an agenda that goes against what the actual monetary actions are supporting. Like if you look at these companies that are losing money, Disney, Anheuser-Busch, just pick a company, Paramount, any of these companies that are losing this money because of their woke agenda. If you've got stock in that, you got a voice as a stockholder. I own stock in Aflac. I have voiced my opinion. I have said numerous times that I will absolutely join any class action lawsuit against Aflac if they start doing any woke agenda stuff, which Aflac typically don't. Aflac is a politically neutral company, as is Coffee Brand Coffee, which is what I was talking about before. So quality products, USA company, delivered to your door, roasted on demand, and it's some of the best coffee you're going to get. So sorry to go out on a tirade. Aiden says there's a reason the Navy has those fruity stereotypes.
I got news for you. I've met way more homosexual Army guys than I ever did Navy guys.
Not a joke. Not a joke. It has to do with the stereotype of a bunch of like all male ships. It goes back to when we had the all male ships. And I do have to admit, weird things happens to your psyche when you're locked on a fucking steel ship for 8 months with only men. Yeah, I was gonna say I knew way more gay Army guys than I did Marines, and I knew way more pink Marines than I did Navy guys. It's a stereotype. Typically, stereotypes can be based on some factual stuff you see. Like it's based on like I've seen this personally, and then it becomes a stereotype. I heard a comedian say it, like stereotypes might be wrong, but they're hilariously accurate. What's your email? I can send you to download an Able one. A downloadable one. Oh, a downloadable one. You should just be able to DM it to me on the Gilded server, and I should be able to save it from there, Mocked Clown. I really do think so. So yeah, the whole BlackRock thing. Yeah, BlackRock has done so many videos recently. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, this sounds horrible. They did one with a firefighter, and at first I was like, oh. I was like, oh, they're doing something with mentally handicapped guy, and I was like, oh no, he's a firefighter, and I was wrong. But they've done so much. Okay, Will, can you throw my email up there, Will, so that so you can get it. But like I said, I'm gonna start doing my live feeds lunchtime here in the studio. Please keep in mind, I'm gonna be doing them on Rumble. You can offset the cost of me having to run the entire studio. You can offset that by joining a membership. And like I said, I do a lot of stuff for the members. Do a lot for the members. Do as much as I can. I'm a member on several other channels. I gotta say, I think I do more for paying members than I do more for my paying members than any of the other channels that I see. I really, really do try. Malcolm, you enjoy your weekend as well. If you guys get a 4-day weekend, enjoy it. Enjoy it. I'm going to have to work all day Monday. Okay, now I'm curious. Now I'm curious. Who's my twin? My wife and daughter have a 4-day. So, guys, please, I want you to keep in mind, end of this month, end of this month, July. I'm going to try and get as much stuff filmed and stay ahead. My wife has a fairly major surgery. She has to have a hysterectomy. We've debated this several times over. Oh, I didn't show you what I used for the beer bottle opener, did I? My third USA-made beer bottle opener for my third beer for this live feed is my Cerberus Knives pry bar. That's sorry. We've debated the options. We have no option at this point. She has got so much pain when she has her cycle that my wife has got to have the surgery. So at the end of this month, she has that surgery. I'm going to try. Right now, I have more than 2 weeks worth of content created, uploaded, edited, and ready to go. And I'm going to start scheduling that stuff up. But that's my fourth. You ruined the secret. So there may be a few days where there is no content, and there's probably going to be less live feeds. I still will try to do the live feeds, but don't forget. That means that all the things that my wife does, I now have to do, which means I got to take my daughter to ice skating. I got to take my daughter to school, which I always do. And because usually when I do the live feed at 11, I've just gotten back from taking my daughter to school. She only has in-person school twice a week, and it's like from 10:30 to 1:30 or 2. At any rate, well, that means that I'm going to have to drop her off at school, pick her up at school, ice skating, her Pilates, her off ice exercise, her like stretching specialist, physical therapy, all those things that my wife currently does, I'm going to have to do. So there probably will be a lack of content. And I would ask to help offset that, because I am going to do some specialty stuff. I'm really working hard on trying to do some specialty stuff for the members. If you join a membership, it absolutely helps the channel. YouTube gets way less of the membership fees than they do anything else you do. And plus, if you join a membership, you get access to a bunch of stuff. I'm telling you right now, we have a ton of fun. We watched 2 movies last night. So we watched Alien, and then we watched now I can't remember what the second movie was. What was the second movie we watched, Will? I can't remember. Well, yeah, but you stuck around for the start of the second one. What was the second one? I can't remember. Is that where your tubes are tied? No, that's where they remove all the baby making parts from inside. I can't remember what the second movie we watched was. We watched where's Bubbles? Bubbles will know. So at any rate, I watched a movie with Will and Robert, and I watched a movie with Will and Robert and 2A Dave and Bubbles, and like I put that announcement up on the Gilded server for everybody that's a paying member to watch a movie. And a lot of times we don't even watch the movie. We don't even watch the movie. It winds up just being us bullshitting and the movie's playing in the background. So gotta watch Independence Day with Will Smith bitch slapping that alien. That was Will. So I'm going to tell you guys, over the last, I don't know, last maybe 5-6 months, I have found so many new actual uses for the Apple Watch. And I know that people are like, Apple products. I have news for you. The Apple Watch integration with the phone is fucking stellar. I can be on the phone with someone and send text to someone else. I can use it to search items. Like if I'm curious about stuff. I don't know. That's why they take so my wife is having a partial hysterectomy, which usually is better because like they don't take the ovaries. So she's still going to have the estrogen production, but she just won't have her cycle anymore because it's just like, it's debilitating pain. There's a name for what it is. I can't think of what they called it. It's just severe pain. Like, she is like literally, I want to get down on my knees and pray for God to make it stop. Like it is that bad. I have never felt so bad for my wife in my life. Like I feel worse for her now than I did when she was in labor. It's emotional. Like, it sucks. Like I wanted to cry last night because she's been sleeping on the couch because of it. It causes so much pain that she's just unable to even function. It's not endometriosis. Endometriosis. It's not that. It's something else. And there's a name for it. And I can't think of it. It happens a lot in Asians. It's actually like only like 10% of the population, which is still a higher representation
than the trans community, who represent about 0.04% of the population, but yet we kowtow and fucking kneel to them and provide them with everything they want, but yet they say that their rights are being diminished. And I'm like, you're so full of fucking shit.
Sorry about that. I don't know where that came from. That's why I'm moving to Rumble. That's why I'm moving to Live Feeds to Rumble, because I can say shit like that. Do you know why? I want you to think about something. Are you ready for this? I'm going to tell you we're working to the unpopular opinions. You ready for this? Let me get rid of this comment that's rolling across the bottom. Here's an unpopular opinion. We stopped making left-handed pencil sharpeners, left-handed fucking scissors, and all these left-handed things. And let me explain to you why. This is the same reason I'm going to make a correlation. You ready? Up until the late 60s, coming into the 70s, if you were left-handed, people were like, no, you have to start doing everything right-handed. And everybody's like, no, that's not good. We have to allow them to be left-handed. We have to allow them to be who they are. So rolling into the early 70s, when I was born, 1974, and into the mid 80s, you had all these products that were left-handed products. We literally had in my classroom, all the way through elementary school, at either end of where the eraser sat on an actual chalkboard, there was at one end a right-handed screwdriver, which would be on the right-hand side. And then there was a pencil sharpener. They were on opposite ends of the chalkboard. And you got up and you went to that pencil slate. No one ever used the left-handed pencil sharpener. I don't remember ever going to school with anyone that was left-handed. But they came out and said, okay, we're going to let people be left-handed. We've got to make left-handed products, right? 10% of the population. We had left-handed scissors. Do you guys remember those? You had red-handled scissors were right-handed and green-handled scissors were left. They had all kinds of these left-handed built products, and companies did this for a few years. The left-handed screwdriver is a joke. And that's why I said it. And so from like 1975 through like 1980, all these products were on the market, but companies realized that like, we're putting a lot of fucking money into making these products. We're putting them on the market and no one's buying them. That was a 10% representation of the population. And companies were taking a fucking bath because they were going out of their way to make products for a population that was not one. They were like, well, fuck, I can use the right-handed shit anyway. Why am I doing it? I'll just use the right-handed. I can do this motion. I can use scissors like this. Can I write left-handed or right-handed? No. but I can do a bunch of stuff. So companies were like, this is not financially sound. And they stopped doing it. But we didn't have social media back then. We had some basic, this is what we've done. We've stopped making left-handed people learn how to do things right-handed. That was it. And they were like, oh, we need to do this. And 10% of the population did not support financially these companies. There is 2 companies still. They're both European companies, by the way, that make left-handed chainsaws. And they make them on request. And they only make so many of them a year. Left-handed people are like, oh, you don't do this for us. And I'm like, it's not financially sound. Chris and Elliot would do a run of knives, and they would do right-handed knives first, and then they would do a run of left-handed knives, which meant that they had to take everybody's like, all right, it's easy. You just flip it. It's not that easy. You have to basically build the knife backwards, right? Which means that they would have to then design all the parts for a left-handed knife and then send those off to get machined, which meant an additional cost. A smaller run costs more. Chris and Elliot stopped doing left-handed knives. They would put the left-handed lock, they would do a left-handed frame lock, and they did it, and it was popular with a few people. But most people that are left-handed were like, I'll just use the right-handed version. Like, no skin off my dick, right? Now, companies stopped doing that, right? Because that represented 10% of the population. The actual transsexual population represents 0.04%, if not less. Why the fuck do they get an entire goddamn month? Yet, my friends that died in combat get a day. The country gets a day. .5%. It's less than a percent. I that's what I meant. 0.5. I'm sorry. Thank you, Mock Clown. Thank you for correcting me. It's actually 0.4%. Like less than 0.5% of the population. We don't make products for left-handed people that represent 10% of the population. Exactly. Guess what? The military didn't buy left-handed rifles. Oh, you're left-handed? Oh, I'm sorry. We don't have that rifle. No, it's just going to suck. You're just going to get hot brass down your collar. Sucks. Sucks to suck. Learn to shoot right-handed. You know what I hate? There's some demon shooters out there. There's some demon children in the military that I had to teach how to shoot. I had to teach some guys that were right-handed but left eye dominant. And left-handed, but right eye dominant. And they were like, well, I can't, like, I was like, all right, let's figure out, like, okay, you're right-handed. All right, we got to figure out your eye dominance. And they're like, I'm like, you're right eye dominant, but you're left-handed. And like, my guys are like, hey, GM1, hey, we got a guy here. I'm like, what? And he goes, oh, it's one of your specials. And I'm like, oh, I'm a country boy. I can fucking shoot. And I would teach people to shoot. And I would shoot perfect on the pistol course several times throughout a day. 240 out of 240. Like without even trying. And guys are like, man, you can fuck with country all you want, but country can shoot. And I'd be there and they'd be coming over to like, man, I've tried to get this guy to shoot like 3 times and he just can't do it. And I was like, well, did you figure out what's going on? He's like, yeah, he's left-handed, but he's right eye dominant. I'm like, fucking Christ. I'm thinking, it's going to take the rest of the goddamn day. But you can do it. You can do it. I'm just happy. This is for the rest of the month, by the way. This is my background for the rest of the month. This is my background for the rest of the month is this. Because I personally think this is my Pride Month. And saluting a flag, that's the only Pride celebration that I fucking get behind. I'm going to give you guys about another 30. Actually, you know what? We're going to do this for a little bit longer. Fuck it. I'm having fun. Are you guys having fun? Nothing made me happier. Nothing made me happier than watching these woke companies realize. Now I'm back to that. So we talked about left-handed, right? We have an algorithm. We have an algorithm now on social media that takes things and it prioritizes it weirdly. And this is how you wound up with the Elsa scat videos. I don't know if you guys remember this, which was falsely inflated search results of Elsa eating feces. You guys remember that? That was a thing, and it like had to get taken down. They had to fix the algorithm so that wasn't getting shown to everyone, because somehow that became the most popular videos on a lot of social media platforms. Let's just say this. The loudest majority does not mean that you are the vocal minority, I should say. The loudest people in a room does not mean that that's the largest representation. But the algorithms on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok inflated all this content and pushed it up. Like case in point, I argued with Jared Neves not long ago, and I love Jared. And we look at things from two drastically different perspectives. Jared has publicly came out and talked about the fact that he's done criminal acts. He's had all these things. And I absolutely respect the fact that he's changed his life. I come from a law enforcement background. Law enforcement, my family. I've done law enforcement. I worked in law enforcement for a lot of years after I retired. What I did with the government was part of the law enforcement. And so we look at things from two different perspectives. And he was talking about bad cops because he's had bad experiences with cops. I personally have not had any bad experiences with cops. But he's like, well, if there's not so many bad cops, why is that what you see? And I'm like, no one watches that. It's the same reason you only see bad news on TV, like unpleasant things on the news. Good news does not make fucking like, hey, nothing went wrong in the world today. Are you going to watch the news? No. You're going to watch the most dramatic things. The things that get views are bad cops doing bad things, right? Not good cops doing good things. No one wants to see that. That should be the norm, right? So I had to argue with Jared. I was like, Jared, you know how the algorithm works. Look at your you look at your subscriber count and look at how you're working the algorithm. You should already know what YouTube prioritizes. No one wants to see good cops doing good things. They want to see bad cops doing bad things. And that's what the algorithm pushes. And so with that and those inflated, inaccurate inflations of content, you wind up with the most flamboyant things because people see it and they're like, what the fuck is this? They start clicking on it. They're like, this dude is dressed up like a chick. This dude's wrapped up in a pride flag. This dude is dancing naked in front of children. And people are like, what the fuck? And they click on it. That doesn't mean that that is accepted. That just means that people clicked on that because they were like, what the fuck? But companies see that and they immediately think that's what we've got to prioritize. And it reaches a point where if you piss on your customer base long enough, they're going to be like, you know what? I'm fucking done with this. I can buy shit beer from a different company. I can buy shit clothes from a different store. I can buy better coffee anywhere when it comes to Starbucks. I fucking hate Starbucks. I don't think that Starbucks has good coffee. Sorry. Nothing makes me happier than to see this happen. And everybody's like, oh, there's going to be a lot of people watching. It was like, oh, he's a fucking conservative right wing. No, I'm not. I'm as liberal as it gets. Libertarian, traditional liberal. I don't give a fuck what you do. Just leave me the fuck alone. That's where I'm at, which is why I'm so angry, because I was left alone for a lot of years. All I want to do is my thing and just be left the fuck alone. That is the definition of a libertarian. But they can't do it. They've went too far. And they've made a lot of people really angry. There's a lot of people like me that are now really, really angry about everything. I will never, ever buy another Anheuser-Busch product. They can come out and apologize from here to Christmas. I don't fucking care. It's too late. I don't buy it. Your apology is not an actual apology. Your apology is coming from a place of, we fucked up and we're going to lose a bunch of money. And I'm going to come from a place of, yep, and you're never getting any of mine. The only reason that you're seeing me drink this, I couldn't find fucking Yingling. This is a taste. This is a small little of what you're going to get with my podcast that I'm going to do on Rumble. The podcast I'm going to do on Rumble, there's a reason I'm going to throw Angry Veteran on the end of it. I am so mad about so many things. I just can't say it here anymore. You can't. Just can't. Happy 4th of July. Oh, I'll send you a Cold Steel. Oh, yes. So the Cold Steel R1. I am very... Now, this is going to be a stretch. I'm going to reach out. I'm going to reach out to Scott over at Choir Boy Cutlery, and I would love to do a side-by-side comparison of his Randall R1 and the R1 military that Michael R is sending me. I know that he just got that knife, and I know how attached he is to it. I would love to do a side-by-side comparison from the production version to the actual version. Recovering from injury. Hey, Michael R, don't worry about it, because I think it's going to take a while to grease the skids with Scuds over at Choir Boy Cutlery. I'm recovering from injury. It's been a while. I can't ship it. Hey, just let me know when. I sent you my address. You know what? Here's the thing, Will. You say you're a conservative. I think that if you really wanted to look at it, you would find that you are much, much closer to being a historical liberal or libertarian than you are a conservative. It's just that it has moved so far. Are you fucking sure? Because I've always wanted one of those. I'm not going to argue. I'm not even going to ask anymore. At this point, if somebody tells me they're going to give me something, I'm not going to ask. I'm not going to ask anymore. Bubbles is here. Hey, Bubbles, what was the second movie we watched last night? We spent so much time talking, I can't remember. I was just mentioning to everyone how much I offer into memberships. Like I said, if you guys want to support channels and they have a membership, join them, because it definitely supports the channel. I personally like to think that I do more for my paying members than anyone else out there. I try really, really hard. Oh, we haven't gone further into what I'm carrying. We've got like, I'll give you guys a little bit of extra because I definitely want to use my fourth beer bottle opener. Oh, we watched Commando. That's right. We watched Commando. Oh, we watched Arnold Schwarzenegger Commando. And I bought this specifically because I wanted to watch it with the paying members. I paid for on Amazon. I paid for on Amazon Prime Commando director's cut. And I'm like, this has got to be better. It adds 15 seconds of footage to that movie, and it's all in the garage scene where Arnie like fucking throws when he's trapped in the shed, in the tool shed, and he uses all the tools in the shed to escape in that movie, if you have seen it. Absolutely bought that, even though I already owned on Amazon Prime the original like video that came out, the original cut. So, but yeah, doesn't Jared live in Wisconsin? Jared lives outside of Chicago. I know exactly where Jared lives. I know. Okay, so the cool thing, like Jared and I talk about this. You guys ready for this? Oh, Bubbles, you didn't get your...
Hey, Bubbles. I'll send you a picture of my ballsack later. No, I won't.
Just kidding. Like I said, the guys that have donated super chats, they made this possible for you guys because this is absolutely going to be demonetized, especially the second I started talking about pride stuff. Demonetized. I almost wanted to go buy Starbucks Like, I was going to go buy my kids Starbucks when I found out that they were like, nope, no Pride celebrations in the stores. You can still sell the Pride merchandise, but you can't have the flags. And I was like, all right. All right, all right, all right. I almost took my kid, and then I remembered, no, I fucking hate Starbucks because they got so many other things that I disagree with. So you'll add it to your collection. What other items am I going to carry throughout my USA American Made only weekend? So I've got all these lined up. So we already talked about the fact that I absolutely, guys, the video I did where I said, like, I'm a Spyderco fan, I am not going to lie. This is the best Spyderco. Not just because, so, okay, let me see here. I love the Endura series. And while this is the best Spyderco, it's not my favorite. Isn't that weird to say? This is the best Spyderco on the market. PM2, hands down. I don't give a fuck about the smock. I think the smock is garbage. I don't like any of the other knives they really make. They've got a couple that I enjoy that are okay. I had a native. It was all right. I didn't like it. It's a lot like the Shaman blade shape. Don't like it. This is probably the best Spyderco they make. Hands down, all around. But it's not my favorite. There's just, and this isn't USA made, so this isn't part of my 4th of July American made EDC that I'm going to do. I'm seriously only carrying the American made items this weekend, like I said, including my Norseman, which Canada is North America. This is my favorite of all the Spydercos ever made. This is so iconic, so striking, such a comfort. It is awesome, but it's not the best one they make. Can you see that's weird? What's this? Chicago. I am born and raised here, been stopped by police, called a spick by police, but never used that as an excuse to not to further myself. I have 3 kids, a CDL, and we have the best job opportunities. Yeah. What was this? If you want them. Their backlocks, I'm not going to say they're best they make, but I'm going to say that their backlocks are probably some of the best on the market. I do have to say Spyderco's backlocks probably the best on the market. But other knives that are in my carry for this week, I will be also definitely carrying my Archbishop. Now, you can't see the green. You can see that it disappears. It looks like mercury on there, doesn't it? That looks cool. Probably one of the best knives that Fair and Forge ever made. Probably 100% USA made. 100%. Steel came from Niagara, New York. Titanium came from whatever the titanium producer that Elliot got. But the flip side is all the titanium ore in the world is coming from Russia, China, and now whatever countries they've taken over in the Middle East. This is probably the best knife they made. This will be in my USA American made EDC for this week. Of course, my Norseman. We already talked about my Sabenza. I got to be careful where I carry this because it's an auto. And both of these autos will be in and out of my pocket. And since I don't have an American-made flashlight, the light I will be carrying will be my Zippo, my Carpe Diem Zippo. I got this as a gift from the girl I was dating before I met my wife. It's the only thing that was given to me as a gift from that young lady that my wife did not destroy in some fashion. This is a rather rare Zippo, to tell you the truth. I covet this. This is a very rare Zippo. And I will also be carrying the Stitch and various other Fair and Forge US made models. Yeah, you didn't know I'm an Illuminati thug? I'm an enforcer for the Illuminati. I got an old Microtech DOC. Maybe their Run Sith Reich they'll release. You know what? I don't know. I forgot about my Vanderfier's Manix 2, my Manix 2 XL, or my Microtech DOC. Microtech DOC, the one you bought for me, that is a stellar carry. I loved that knife. I feel as though if I take a job, like when I get a job before, that I'm absolutely going to buy that knife back from you. I think I will. Didn't I used to live in Ohio? I am absolutely born and raised in Ohio. Joined the military, joined the Navy when I was 17, shipped off to boot camp, turned 18 at boot camp, was stationed in Japan for 13 years, came out here, took orders to a unit at Spec War, and then got medically retired after 2 years at Spec War. And well, I did 2 years at Spec War and then got put on Lim Do and went to Lim Do and spent like 2.5, almost 3 years on Lim Do, and then got medically retired. I got retired just shy of 18 years. So, but yes, I used to live in Ohio. I'm from a small town called Fresno, Ohio, just outside of West Lafayette, which is just outside of Coshocton. So it's between Coshocton and Newcomers Town. So if you head south from there, you're heading into Cambridge. North from there, northwest, you're heading towards Columbus. You cut your hair this morning. You look like a fat little girl.
I'm so gonna send you a fucked up text later.
That even made me laugh.
Oh, what do we got here? Isn't Coshocton, and it's not Coshocton, it's Coshocton. It is a Anglicization of Gajak-Unk, which means 3 rivers. I live in White Eyes Township, which is the White Eyes Indians area, and no, it's not on a West Virginia border. I am about, you have to drive. So if I go down south and I head down to Marietta, it's about 90 minutes to Marietta, which is right on the Ohio River. If I head to Wheeling and then cross across in Wheeling Island, you have to go through Pennsylvania first. So I'm like in that area where I can get to West Virginia or Pittsburgh in like 90 minutes, but it is not on the border. It is southeast, but it's not on the border. And our last, we're going to have one last beer with us all together, because that's all I'm feeling like drinking. I feel as though if I drink more than 4, I'm going to feel bad for the rest of the day. I have things I want to do. I want to play with the dog in the yard. I'm going to get his pool out, fill it up. It's like 82 degrees here in the studio. It's like outside, it is currently 75. It's a good day for him to do that. I'm going to play with him in the yard. And I don't want to feel like shit all day. Day drinking, you feel like crap if you drink too many. But our last American-made bottle opener and our last American-made beer, well, Mexico is part of America, right? Is my Ferrum Forge Master Blaster. This is the baddest fucking knife on the market that ever hit the market. I gotta tell you. And Elliot absolutely designed all of his knives with a flipper tab that works incredibly well as a bottle opener. You want to know why the Ferrum Forge flipper tabs look like that? And why they're so incredibly comfortable? Because Elliot's a fucking genius. That is one of the best bottle openers you are going to find. It doesn't even, like, look at that. It did not even deform the top. I could stick that top right back on there. That bottle top has not at all been deformed, as opposed to a lot of the others. So if you decide you want to save that bottle, pop that right back on there. I got news for you. It pops right back on and it seals. The best bottle opener on the market is a Fair & Forged KnifeWorks in-house build flipper tab. Plus, you just look like a badass doing it. So 23 people at 2 hours. So what do you guys want to talk about that might be, if you guys have a question about something I might have an opinion on that might not be something that's going to be monetized, because at this point, Aiden definitely covered the monetization for this video, and I absolutely appreciate it. That $100 super chat covered everything that it's going to cost me for this video. So if you have a question that might be that I'm going to say something unpopular as a response, feel free to ask it. Forgot about your Hogue Deca Sub-Zero. I'll carry that for Independence today. I would ask Hogue. I'd reach out to Hogue, and I know that it's still probably recouping or it's still in recoil from the loss of the company founder. But if company president, I should say, I would ask them if they can replace your blade with one that was heat treated properly, because I'm going to tell you right now, that was not heat treated properly. What are you using a bottle open? Why are you using a bottle opener on a twist top bottle? It's not a twist top.
Mock Clown, you know how I know you're not very old? Because you don't know that imported beer does not have twist tops. And I got news for you. You're going to fuck your hands up when you turn 21. You're going to wind up in the hospital. Because that's not a fucking twist top. Did your mother drink while she was pregnant? Maybe smoked? Maybe fell down some steps? I don't know. You know, did you eat paint chips?
I was going to say, are you even old enough to drink? Glycon, I have never seen it. Since we're allowed to talk about unpopular thoughts on the tuck-friendly panties in the kids section at Target, well, I got news for you. I didn't shop at Target to begin with. I told my wife about that. She goes, "Well, we're not going there again." And I was like, "Fine, it's fine with me." I don't care how bad I need something. If they don't have it at all the other stores in town, I'm not buying it. I said earlier, I will never shop at Target again. I will never buy another Anheuser-Busch product. As much as I like Busch beer, I'm pretty sure I can find one that comes close in flavor profile to a beer I like.
If you think that's going to make me feel bad about the things I said, you're fucking wrong. I don't care. I'm a horrible person. We've established that.
Well, he said that, but I'm not gonna lie. I read that and I felt a twinge of guilt. I mean, not a lot, just a little bit, a tiny bit. I'm kind of in love with the way Target smells, though. Well, that's because when you walk in, you smell popcorn. And do you guys? Okay, I'm gonna explain to you. This is an actual thing. Like, I studied this. I forget what. I took some college classes. I think it was a marketing class I took, or I think it was. I took a marketing class. Stores will do things. It's like when you walk into the movie theater. There are smells that you immediately, they hit you in a certain way. When you walk into a lot of Targets, they have hot dogs and popcorn right as you come in the entrance. It's on the right. And you smell that. and it hits certain receptors in your brain, and it gives you a specific feeling. You associate that with that store. And those things make an imprint on your brain, which you immediately associate with that store. And when they get you in there, then you're going to associate that with it's absolutely a proven fact. McDonald's, red and yellow. Red and yellow elicit feelings of hunger. Have you ever noticed that I use a lot of red and yellow in my thumbnails? I tried it. It worked a little. Ooh. I'm gonna have poop soon. Popcorn and hot dogs remind me of when my mom would chew it up and bleh.
Come here, little baby bird. I'm gonna feed you.
I shouldn't have a soundboard. I should not have access to voice changer. Vanilla oil on light bulbs when showing up to vacant properties. Yeah, vacant properties. You want to associate smells. It's a well-known thing. You can do a lot to people. Like I took a lot of actually, I think it was psychology. It was a psychology class I took where they talked about stores using that as marketing. It was psychology. It was a college psych class that I took. Any more questions y'all have for me that might be something that's unpopular for me to respond to, that I'm absolutely ready to respond to now? Yeah, and it's a well-documented response, and it's used a lot. Stores do it all the time. Like certain fragrances, certain sounds are. I'm really close to the microphone. Sorry, I didn't mean to. There you go. There's a little bit of my beard. Questions that might elicit an unpopular thing coming out of my mouth. Have you noticed that regardless of how you respond to something, you're either an ist or a phobe? Like, it does not matter. Like, that's been the go-to. Like, it has become the go-to shutdown. Like, if you say any, and this is why people have not said it, and this is why I want to go to Rumble, because I want to be able to say it, because I literally have had people comment in my videos that I'm an ist or a phobe. And I'm like, I'm not. Absolutely not. I come, my house here, mixed race family. I was in the military. My best friends in the world. I got news for you. I don't give a fuck what color the hand is that pulls me out of that burning vehicle in Iraq or the Middle East or any of those things. So absolutely not an ist. And I got news for you. I'm not a phobe, because I'm absolutely not afraid of either someone that thinks they are what they aren't or a fat person. Because I got news for you. I can outrun fat people. I'm pretty sure I can beat the ever-living crap out of somebody that thinks that they are something that they're not. So the gay alphabet. I don't know, but I got news for you. I have several gay friends that absolutely hate everything that LGBTQIA plus alphabet soup people have to say. So like that's been the go-to. Like, if you say something, now you're an ist or a phobe. And I'm like, I'm not, though. I'm not afraid of any of those people. And I definitely am not an ist. I'm going to start training, and you're going to get beat by a little fat girl. Better show up to bring it on the 22nd. Because guess what? I don't need no training. You know who fights fair? The fucking loser. You know what I find funny? There are two. If you look, in fact, and this is why I love the Latin language, the Spanish and French. if you look it up, there are 2 ways to say non-binary. There's a feminine and a masculine way. Go look it up. I'll give you a minute. I'll give you a minute. The idea you can run fast is offensive. Bro, I used to run like all the time. And I got some bursts of speed in me still. And I used to run 8 to 10 miles twice a week, but on the days I didn't run those extra 2 to 4 miles, I ran 6 at a minimum. And we're talking not like Monday through Friday. No. I ran 7 days a week. I ran a minimum of 6 miles every day. Minimum. 2 days a week, I ran 8 to 10. So, I news for you. I might have not have done it for a while, but I can still do it. I'm offended by you being offended. Did you see that Michigan passed a law? Is now a fucking felony to misgender someone and use their improper pronouns? Have you ever used someone's pronouns face to face? I typically say, hey, what's up? And call them by their name. Or say, hey, you, what's up? Oh, 22nd is not a giveaway. Okay, so here we go. On the 22nd of this month, there is a huge gathering that's happening at the Craft Lounge in Banning, California. We currently have 5 companies that either will be there or sending items to sell and give away. You have Savannah coming from Rosecraft. A good possibility we're going to have Artisan represented by Russell. We are going to have possibly Ray Laconico as a guest, just hanging out. Possibly Bob Terzuola. So we're going to have what companies? We got Rosecraft, Beyond EDC, Artisan, Ferrum Forge, and one more. I can't remember which one it is. So those companies are all going to be there. We're going to have music. There's going to be a band. There's going to be barbecue. You can pre-order your tickets, which will include it. I'm not French. It will include a specific number of beverages. We have a company that is providing the alcohol, doing a tap takeover. All of the beer will be provided from one company. Band, barbecue, calling it BB&B. Calling it Triple B. I should invite Sean down. Triple B. It's going to be beer, blades, and barbecue with a band. It's going to be a lot of fun. I will get the information out as soon as I get everything from Nico. You will be able to order your tickets. Hey, you know what? I'm fine with that. Virginia just passed a law. Here's one for you. I watch adult videos. I'm not going to lie. I'm a fucking adult. I get to. Like, that's my choice. Like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, you should watch porn. It's not good for your brain. I was like, all the other things I've done in my life, if porn's what's going to ruin my brain, that's fine. I'm pretty sure the other things are bad. But they require age verification for adult websites. And guess what? I'm fucking fine with that. If that means that you got to get a VPN to look at someone's beehole, fucking eat that cost. Any rate, so there will be we're going to have an availability of tickets. You're going to be able to go online. You're going to be able to buy your ticket. You're going to get a receipt. You come to the venue. You show your receipt. You're going to get entered into giveaways. You're going to get entered into the venue. You're going to have a certain number of drinks. We're going to have an area with, we're going to call it, so Blade Show has the Cove. USN has the Cove. Blade Show has the Pit. We're going to have the Swamp because Palm Springs in July. So everybody's going to have some swamp ass going. So I will talk about it more. I will probably do a video all about it. I'm going to watch some boobs if I want to. Yeah, there you go. You find a way. But I absolutely agree. There should be an adult verification. I remember when you used to have to do adult bouncer. You guys, I'm old. You guys remember that? Like if you were going to go to a porn site, You had to sign up for Adult Bouncer and you had to verify your age. It was like, that's the way it worked. That's how all the adult websites worked. Adult Bouncer, it was like $15. I think it was like $15 a year. And if you downloaded something and you got it, you had to watch it. Like if you downloaded a video from one of those websites through Adult Bouncer, and then your subscription lapsed, those videos wouldn't play anymore. I'm 100% fine with that. I don't care. There should be some verification of age, not just that, yeah, I'm over 18. The I believe, hey, trust me, bro button. Like, I don't fucking believe in that. You guys want to run this longer? I got to go to the bathroom if we do. Can I go take a piss? There's 22 people here on a Saturday. 2 hours and 12 minutes in. Do you guys want to hang out a little bit longer? I'll go pee and come right back. I'll give you Dancing Cat for a second. Hang on. I'm going to put up Dancing Cat and then go pee. And then I will be right back. You ready? I don't want to forget your Dancing Cat.
They call me Cuba Pete. I'm the king of a rumba beat. When I play the maracas, I go chick, chicky, boom, chick, chicky, boom. Yeah.
I have returned. Depends. Should be a sponsor. Put up the Bob. Let me see here. Fill those beer bottles back up. Hey, pee your pants. I took a nap and you're still. I got news for you. I don't know what the fuck 2A Dave's problem. I don't know if he's a narcoleptic or I knew that there was still beer left. I almost chair stream. Anyway, okay. What's the next question? 76 hours till fireworks. You know what? I don't go watch fireworks very often anymore. A couple years ago, we went with our friends to downtown. Or last year. Was it last year? I put up the video about it. Depends. Should be a sponsor. What are you talking about? I don't know what we missed. I don't know what I don't know what you're talking about. Depends should be a sponsor. What's the when I say unpopular, I don't mean with you guys. I mean the things I'm going to say are unpopular with YouTube. So what's the next question that's just going to piss the YouTube algorithm off so badly that they take this? Like, you know what? I haven't had it happen in a while. I have not had a video taken down. And I got upset like when it did happen. And now that I think about it, if you really want to know the truth, if I got a video taken down by YouTube, I'm probably right on the money. I probably am. Oh, Hunter Biden. Did you guys see? Hunter Biden fucking comped to a federal firearms charge and didn't even they're like, oh, you said you're sorry. Oh, how good for you. If I did that shit, they would have me in prison getting fucked in the fucking ass with a broken beer bottle. If I did that shit, I would have a dude named Tito up me to the balls, like to the like all the way to the dick root. Like that's how it would wind up happening. Would you go shooting with Hunter Biden? I wouldn't go shooting. I'd go hunting. Like Dick Cheney style. Like, oh no, I accidentally shot him in the face. My bad. Crack party. Hunter is the main guest. I was going to say, I can't afford to have Hunter over. Those drugs are expensive. Oh, there we go. I felt that brewing and I just could not. I was trying to do it while I was in the house. I was talking to wife. She's playing with the dog. I was like, oh, you should bring him in so everyone can see. He's huge now. He's almost like at 14 weeks. He's 36 pounds. He's almost the size of my friend's full-grown boxer, which is not a little dog. And he is fucked. I'm gonna wind up having to have surgery. I can tell already. The doctor's like, it's just shouldn't be a big deal. That knee, it should heal up. We shouldn't need to do surgery. And every time I'm in and out of the car, I'm like, we're gonna have to do surgery on this fucking knee. What else? Ask me a question that's going to elicit an unpopular response. Here's one for you. Did you guys see that video of the Pride parade where the guy was doing? There was two guys doing sex. I mean, it doesn't have to be two guys doing a sex act in public in front of children. Let me preface that. And people were just like, oh, I don't understand how people just like, oh, I'm going to take a video about it and complain about it on later and not go out and beat those people with a mallet. If I'm walking through a park and someone's running around naked in front of my child, she's 15. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to hurt that person. There's a good chance of it. Like, there's a good chance that them breaking the law by running around naked is then going to incite me to break a law, and I'm probably going to be in way more fucking trouble. I just don't understand how these things have been normalized to this point. I don't get it. Have you guys noticed that I am starting to suffer? I will tell you guys this. It's this one. If you guys watch this eye, you see that? My grandfather had it as well. I suffer from the same eye, the muscle in the eye. It's always above one eye, typically the left. If you remember, Forrest Whitaker had it. I suffer from the same thing. And when I don't pay attention, I try to force it open because it does start to block my vision. I absolutely am starting to see that drooping eyelid that Forrest Whitaker had as well. I'm going to eventually have to have surgery for it. Can you definitely see the difference between this eye and this eye? It's a thing. I run around naked sometimes, but there's no shit down there to be worried about. You don't do it in a park around children or on a parade route. It boggles my fucking mind how certain people that have a lot of money and are way more educated and should know the difference are getting away with saying things that are like, those should be the things that are unpopular. See the difference? It's absolutely, and it's way more pronounced if I've been drinking because the muscle relaxation. It's an issue with the musculature. I'm gonna eventually it's gonna get to a point where I've noticed that I start doing this thing where I work the muscles to get them to, because you see now, like after I work the muscles a couple times and I reactivate the muscles, you can see the entire lid. But after a few minutes, it's gonna droop because those muscles just stop working. And there it goes already. It's just one of those things that it's a nerve issue with those muscles. So I need to make the appointment. My grandfather had the surgery and it was pretty non-invasive. and he recovered from it. But the fact is, this is how I make my living. And it's kind of hard to do it. Oh, no. I was going to pull it back up. But mine is becoming much more pronounced. It's really starting to, and I can feel it. Like I can feel what the big one that I notice is like I can feel that touching my eyelids now. Do you see it? Like it's past the line of my eyelids. And it's just I don't want to let it drag on, if you know what I mean. What do you guys got? Come on. So nobody's asked me a question that would like, are you guys gonna ask me a question that elicits a response? Or you're like we don't want to get his channel taken down. If I said this question, he's gonna answer it. Is that what's going on? Don't feel bad. Like I said, this is probably one of the last few live feeds we're doing on YouTube. If you guys have not already followed me on Rumble, you need to do so. Like I said, not only is this going to be moving to Rumble, so will the resurrection of the Peanut Butter and Pickles podcast. It won't always have Polly. That's the thing, because Polly, I love Polly, but God, is he hard to fucking deal with sometimes. Okay. There is so much that I could say there. Like, I don't know how to approach the most popular president in history. Don't know how to approach the context of a president that got more votes than anyone in recorded history. I don't know how to approach. Sorry, there was something stuck in my throat. Should drag queens be allowed in schools? No. Guess what? There's a place out here called Lips. That's a better question. I don't want to talk about the president. That will definitely get the channel taken down. Let's see here. Let's open this with another Fair and Forged Knife Work night. Let's open this with one of my prized possessions. You guys know what that is. Come on, it's not the Mordax. What is it? Does anybody know what this is? Somebody throw up a name. I know what it is. If you get the right name, I'll ring a bell. I don't have a bell. If you know the name of this knife, I will give you a sound effect of some sorts. It's a Fair and Forged Knife Works knife. No. This one's really slippery because of the finish that's on the blade. There we go. Whew, pop. It is not the Archbishop. Rocky does not have to. This is not the knife that Rocky has. This is a Fair and Forged Knife Works knife. There you go. Crewware is the best. You get a bell. It is the Fair and Forged Fortis. Do you know which variant this is? Because there was an A and a B. There was a Fortis A and a Fortis B. They had definite different milling on them, but you got the answer right. So if you know, here, let's see here. What do we get? You got it correct. This is the Fair and Forged Fortis. Is not the rat one. How dare you? How dare you? Master Blaster. No, the Master Blaster was the one we used last. Where did I put my Master Blaster? I thought I put, oh, here it is. This is the Master Blaster. Master Blaster was the Warncliffe version. The dick cutter. No. I got you, Zach. It is, you were a little bit late, but do you remember which variant this is with the straight lines milled in it as opposed to the arched? Ha ha ha, the rat one. The rat one is garbage. It really is. I had somebody tell us about the impending destruction of the planet by fossil fuels. It's not. Are you guys ready for it? You ready for an oh, here we go. This is a good one. Here's an unpopular thing to say. Human carbon production represents 5% or less, depending year to year, 5% or less of the overall greenhouse gases in the environment. And a lot of people will go, well, that's because you're not taking into account for the cattle production. No, I'm taking into account all. It is the Fortis A. B is the B. Oh, hang on. Fuck, now I can't remember. I think this is the Fortis B. I think the A was the arched ones. Oh, hang on. Ferrum Forge, Fortis. Fortis A. The Fortis A was the one. Yes, this is the, that's what I thought. This is the Fortis A. Fortis B had the curved, so these lines weren't up and down, they were like curved across. There was 3 of them that were curved across. So there you go. Nope, that's the A. This is the A. Fortis A. Fortis A flipper. No, I don't own a single Pro Series knife. This is an old school in-house built, hand-built Fortis A with the exclusive. There was only 100 of these made, and only 10 of them had that finish. This is a Grail knife of mine. It does not spend very much time in pocket. It lives its life inside my knife case. So back to this. Human carbon dioxide production. Human carbon dioxide and greenhouse gas emissions represent less than 5% of overall carbon dioxide and greenhouse gases released into the atmosphere every year. Now, that 5% is 5% or less based on a year-to-year basis, depending on population and things like that. We are producing 5% of the overall carbon dioxide in the environment. A volcano puts out more carbon dioxide into the environment during an eruption than the carbon dioxide produced by the human race for all of the years of our existence. 1. How many volcanoes have erupted in recent years?
I think they're lying to you.
You ready for this? Here's another unpopular opinion that goes along with that one. Have you seen that they're trying to outlaw gas stoves throughout the country? And do you want to know why? If they turn off your electricity, yeah, so what? You just don't have lights. Maybe your refrigerator doesn't work, but there's a lot of people that have got generators that run off of large reserves of propane off of a large tank in their yard. We had one when I was growing up. It was the size of a Buick. And we very rarely had to get it filled. We had a wood burning stove that ran, we filled that ourselves. We had a oil run furnace. We had generators that we could run throughout the year. If they take away your ability to run on propane, because I had news for you, propane comes in a large tank stored. You can get away with that for a long time. They take you off the grid, or if they take away your ability to have propane, they put you on the grid. And guess what? If they turn off your electricity, now you don't have anything. My stove doesn't work. My refrigerator doesn't work. Nothing works. I don't have a generator because now I can't have a propane generator. If you live in the country and they outlaw those things, they absolutely can control you 100%. It is a fucking leash that the government's trying to chain you down with. They're like, we don't want you to think that you can do things that you want. They're talking about a mileage limit. Like, you can only drive so many miles. They've already done it in Europe in a couple countries. Like, oh, you can only drive, you can only leave your area of the country so many times per year. You can only do this. And it's, you know why? They are trying, absolutely trying to lock you into your little bubble. If you are a person that looks at all these things and says, yeah, everything's fine. No, it's okay. You're a fucking idiot. I'm 100% for smaller government. And this is why this is probably one of the last live feeds that I do on YouTube. I hate to say it. If you guys want to support me, you're going to have to follow me on Rumble. It's crazy sharp. Just find me on Rumble. I'm going to start doing these live feeds on Rumble. And I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want. Because you know what I'm tired of? Pretty much fucking everything. If you want to support me on Rumble, you absolutely can drop rants on Rumble. It's 100% a thing. I did not put this one on Rumble yet. I wanted to put it out. And my regular videos are definitely going to be here. But you're going to have to start following me on Rumble. I'm going to start transitioning so much of my stuff over there. In New York, no new building can have natural gas. That's ridiculous, Mark. Did you see it's going to, I got news for you. This is where they're going to fuck up. You ready for how New York is going to fuck up? They're starting to fuck with pizza. Sounds silly, right? Sounds silly? Everything was cool till they fucked with our beer, right? All these fucking far left fucking libtards are now realizing that they're fucking with things they love. That's where it starts to, when it reaches a point where they hit you where you feel, that's when everyone starts slowing. Whoa. Wait, you're fucking with my pizza now? I don't know if you know this. New York? Well, that's a pizza culture. Pizza isn't just something you go get in New York. I've been to New York several times. Funny, I've never been robbed in New York. Never once. Never got mugged in New York. I've been mugged 3 times. I've been to New York 5 times. I've been to Chicago. I lived in Chicago for a year. Only got mugged once. I've been to, you ready for this? I've been to St. Louis twice, got mugged both times I went. I will add an extra 2 days to my trip to not drive through St. Louis because fuck St. Louis. But when you start hitting people in things that they give a fuck about, New York is a pizza culture. It's not just, let's go get a pie and have, it is, they take that shit seriously. I've seen more fights break out between New Yorkers about pizza than I have about politics. So when you start fucking around with their fucking things that they hold dear, like I'm a hillbilly, you started pissing with the pizza or with the beer, I'm out. You don't fuck around with our beer. New York, they started pissing around with the pizza. Oh, you have went one step too far. Now they're starting to realize, they're like, wait. These decisions, these things I voted for are now affecting the things I love. Well, maybe I don't want those. Too fucking late. If you live in New York and you haven't, like, everybody's like, oh, you live in San Diego, you should move. San Diego is really not that bad. LA, San Francisco, they're shitholes. Everywhere else in California outside of San Francisco, LA, and maybe like the Sacramento, like some of those areas, like small little areas, like they're not bad. San Diego is a very conservative area. The rest of California, except for Dave, what did you say? LA? What is it? LA, San Francisco. Did you say Sacramento? Was there one more? Oh, Oakland. That's what it was. You slapped the buddy with a slice because he brought the wrong kind. Yeah. Pizza is a way of life in New York. And that's the thing that, like, the left has not realized. I'm gonna give you something special here in a second.
I'll give you some pizza. Cheesecake. Cheesecake. Beefcake. Sorry, my bad.
Sorry, I was trying to get back around the thing. So LA and Frisco. LA, San Francisco, and then, I mean Oakland. Oakland is a big bastion of stupidity. Like when I drove through fucking Oakland, we were so I drove from San Diego, me and Nico, we drove from San Diego through Oakland to Petaluma. We had the windows down at one point. Did I touch that bag of coffee? Of course I touched the bag of coffee. I had to put it in the bag. I did not unzip it. I did not open it. I didn't do anything to it. It was sealed. But I didn't do anything to it, if that's what you're asking, clown. So we drive all the way up through, and then we hit traffic in Oakland, and it was a decent day. It was kind of chilly. It was kind of cool. It was a nice day. I'm like, fuck it, let's open a window. As we're driving, everything was cool and traffic was bad. We hit Oakland. We're on the outskirts of Oakland. We drive into Oakland. I'm like, what the fuck is that smell? And Nico was like, it smells like piss. It was Oakland. That's what Oakland smells like. Do you want to know the truth? Oakland smells like dirty ass and piss because they have the worst homeless problem I've ever seen in my life. The entire town. Which is horrible because we drove along the waterfront in Oakland and it was gorgeous. On the left, you look to the right, it looked like a fucking homeless shelter. Did I touch that bag of coffee? I did not touch the bag of coffee as far as opening it. That's one that will get the channel taken down. We'll have to talk about that on a Rumble live feed. Oh, don't worry. I have my fucking opinions. A lot of them. And none of them are popular. In a perfect world, we would have been paying attention to what he was doing prior to this. And I don't know. I got news for you. He's going to find out, though. He's on that FAFO chart. He's getting a bunch of money and stuff from the U.S. government. If you look at every other country that's followed that path, well, I have news for you. You can talk to Osama bin Laden about that. How did that end up for him? Lots of training, lots of money, lots of stuff. Now you're our enemy. We build our enemies to prevent us from ever leaving a war environment. Well, some factions of our government do. That's like, I would hazard him to look at our allies from the past. So, let's see here. Yeah, Oakland was horrible. It was a horrible place. Like, it was beautiful off to my left and right, or off to my left, off to my right, just fucking homeless, drug-addled. And it did. Nico was like, I smell piss. And I was like, it does. And I look off to my right, and I was like, oh, that's why. Homeless encampment. The biggest fucking homeless encampment I've ever seen. California just passed, basically has made de facto robbery, like it's like, oh, you don't have to worry about robbing someone. And people are like, why you always got a firearm on you when you're at home? Have you seen how they've passed these laws? People are kicking in people's doors left and right because there are no repercussions. You come in my house, you get a big old fuck. I'm not calling the cops, calling an ambulance. And then I call the cops. Like, hey, you might want to get over here. I'm going to have to sign some shit. For what? Yeah, this dude stopped breathing. Like, what? Yeah, I already called the ambulance. Nobody wants to mention Epstein. I'll mention Epstein, but we'll do it on the fucking Rumble feed. So yeah, it's ridiculous to me. It's ridiculous to me how many people just fucking eat up they just eat out of that toilet. They eat out of that toilet. The left has gotten people to eat out of that fucking flushable chili bowl for everyone. And I was just like, how do you, including my, she's not here, but including my sister. I love my sister to death, but she's all like, oh, this and that. And fucking, I'm like, no, you've never had a job in your life. You've lived off our parents. And now you live rent free in a home that I basically own. It's ridiculous. She's like, oh, I think the gun. I was like, our father, like having our father, and then she's all about fucking gun control. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. How could you have our father? How could we share the same genetics? I don't get it. I love her to death. Sometimes can't stand to talk to her. As gonna like Sling Blade, like I think you need to call the morgue. Or you need to call the coroner. I have news for you. You show up at my house and you think you're going to get away with just stealing something and walking away, and I'll be like, oh no. Like I've been mugged. We talked about this on the live feed. I've been mugged 3 times. And one of the guys was like, you don't seem to me to be the kind of guy that would get mugged. And I'm like, here's the thing. Like out in town, if you come up and you try and mug me, am I going to give up a kidney over $120 and 3 credit cards that I can cancel and maybe my driver's license? No. I can handle that. You show up in my house where my family's at, that's a completely different story. I'm going to make your day a very bad one. Your last day. You kick in the door to my house, it's going to be your last day and it's going to be very unpleasant. That's just all I'm saying. That's just all there is to it. Like I'll give up a couple $100 that's in my wallet. If I had a couple $100, I'd put it in my wallet. But am I going to have that same attitude when you kick in the door to my house? No, I'm not. And when the cops show up, they'd be like, why are there 2 different calibers? Why are there 2 different caliber rounds in this person? I'm like, that's because the first one, I ran out of rounds. I ran out of reloads. What did you get mugged with? Let's see. So in Chicago, I don't even know what the guy had. The guy was like, give me your wallet. And I'm like, I'm not going to fucking argue. There's nothing in it. Like I didn't have a credit card at the time. I just gave him my wallet. I think I had like $12 in it. I gave up a military ID card. This was in the days before. So this was in Chicago. I was still A school. I was like 18 going on 19. I gave up a wallet with a military ID and a driver's license. And I think I had $5 cash. Just gave it to him and he took off. I'm like, oh, well. Both times that I got mugged in St. Louis, the first time the dude like stuck a knife in my back and I'm like, well, I'm not giving up a kidney. And I think he got like $120. Second time the dude like held a gun at me and took my wallet, and he made out the worst. That dude didn't get a fucking thing. That dude got an empty wallet. Like I had started at that point, like in neighbor, like I had already gotten robbed in St. Louis once. And I had my ID and my money in my front pocket. I gave him my basically empty wallet. I think there was like a AAA card or some shit in it. And he took off with an empty wallet, but he had a gun. So like, am I going to fight with that dude over shit that I can easily replace? No. You come in my house where my family's at, you're fucked. That's just all there is to it. Like, I'm not even going to think twice. Like fucking, you wouldn't shoot someone. Motherfucker, I was in the military. I was downrange. I definitely will pull that trigger. So 2 hours and 45 minutes. It's been a long live feed. I'm going to finish this one. Anybody else got anything that we're going to talk about that's unpopular? Somebody's going to tell Mike to say something unpopular? It's the principalities. You see, you say that, now I want to watch Friday. What about China? Look, You guys are going to try and get me to say something. Here's something unpopular. I said one time in a live feed, in a video, I talked about a knife, and I said that made in Taiwan was made in China. Guess what? The federal government has said the same thing. The federal government, while they say they will come to the defense of Taiwan, absolutely will not, because since the 1970s, they have absolutely adhered to the one China policy, which includes Taiwan. So if you're going to tell me that a knife made in Taiwan is different than a knife made in China, I would refer you to the federal government, and they're going to tell you it fucking isn't. So suck me sideways. Is that an unpopular one? I don't know how it's unpopular. Belinsky said the same thing. That is our current, what is he, Secretary of State? No, not Belinsky. At any rate, the government has said that a bunch of times. They came out and said it publicly the other day. Regardless of what Biden says about coming to the support of Taiwan, the federal government recognizes the one China policy, which includes Taiwan. That's an unpopular one. And if you don't like what I said, I'm going to reach out to your congressman and see if they'll change it. But right now, the federal government looks at Taiwan, regardless of what they say. Oh, we'll come to the defense of Taiwan. No, they won't, because they absolutely adhere to the one China policy, which Reagan talked about, Carter talked about. How am I wrong? They say a lot of shit and they don't actually fucking mean it. You're having dinner with the wife and girls. Hopefully you don't have this on fucking. Hey, Will, put me on speaker. Put me on speaker. It's not gonna be horrible.
I promise I'll just say, hey, ladies, hopefully you're having a good evening. That's all I'll say. Like, honest, I won't. I think it was Nixon. I wanted to say 60s.
I wanted to say it was the 60s and Nixon, but I thought it was Carter. Which, I mean, that's pretty close. Carter, Nixon, they were both fucking horrible presidents. Actually, Nixon was actually lined up to be a pretty good president, and then they fucking got him out on the they made him quit. They're like, all right, tap out. I believe you're right, though. I believe it was Nixon with the one China policy. And that's, the federal government has upheld that forever. They can say what they want. Oh, we'll do this. No, you won't. You've absolutely said that you're going to adhere to the one China policy. So for me to say that a Taiwanese knife is made in China is absolutely incorrect. Ask the federal government. They'll tell you Taiwan's part of China. I news you for 9/11. Absolutely, it was real. I watched that shit real time, active duty. I was on duty. I was sitting in harbor security, and I got a call from one of the guys like, "Hey, you need to turn the TV on." And the first tower had already been hit. Second, I will never forget this. My wife and I weren't even married yet. She was living with me at the time, and we were doing all the paperwork to get married. And we were sitting in the harbor security headquarters office. Now I was section leader, and I had boats out on the water, and we just done a rotation. And I was like, I had been up for 20 hours at the time. I was like, I just want to get a little bit of sleep because I hadn't slept the night before because we had a loadout and a bunch of other stuff. And so I was sitting in harbor security. Everybody else was out on the water. I was listening to the radio, and I got a phone call like, "Hey, GM1." I was like, "What's up?" I was like, "Hey, man, turn the TV on to this channel." And I forget, it was Fox News or something. And they were like, plane has hit the Tower 1 or some shit like that. And as I turned the TV on, I'm sitting there, and a bunch of people got the same phone call, and they came down from the bunk room, and they had woke up. They were, "What's going on?" Like, CS1 told us about this. And they came in, and I was the supervisor at this point. And so I had the TV on, and I was like, this is what he's talking about. And that's when all 5 of us were in the harbor security, and these guys are like in like sweatpants and stuff and getting ready to throw their uniforms back on. This is what they're talking about, and that's when the second plane hit. And my first immediate thought was like, there's a really pissed off traffic controller somewhere. And then reality set in, and I was like, go get dressed and start calling everyone that works with you. And I started calling all the guys that work with me, and they're like, why? I was like, because we're going to Delta. This is an act of war. And they're like, what? I was like, just go fucking get dressed. 2 minutes later, the command duty officer comes in. He's like, call it. I was like, I already called everybody. And he goes, all right. He's like, I knew I didn't have to worry about you guns. He's like, you getting dressed? Everybody's getting dressed. I'm gonna have every boat out on the water. And so we had boats out on the water, and they do random patrols. And I had boats at every entry point to every point of the harbor, every ship. And we had guard boats and everything set up within like 15 minutes. And literally, I went to work on a Thursday, I believe, and I worked for 72 straight hours. And that's just the way it was. So anybody that thinks that 9/11 was fake is fucking, well, they're the R word. They are fundamentally mentally impaired. And to think that our own government would do that, as much as I might not have faith in the government, I absolutely do not believe any of the conspiracy theories. That one is absolutely a conspiracy theory. All the other stuff, like the conspiracy theories that I see, and then everybody's like, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. And I'm like, okay. And then like 6 months later, and I'm like, what was that again? How about we think back about this? Like the Hunter Biden fucking computer. I told a bunch of my friends, like, you're just being a conspiracy theorist. I'm like, okay. And I didn't say anything else about it. Guess what? Like 2 weeks ago, I was like, hey, remember that laptop story that I told you about? Yeah, you can suck me sideways, you fucking idiot. Moon landing. The moon landing wasn't faked. Stanley Kubrick would have done a much better job of that. So, let's see. I've got one more beer in my cooler. Do we want to keep this? It's been 3 hours. I'm going to let you guys go. It's been fun. It's been real. I can't necessarily say it's been real fun. Follow me on Rumble. It's Crazy Sharp on Rumble. I absolutely will be starting to do some additional stuff over there. There are ways to support on Rumble. You can do Rumble rants. I actually get more from Rumble rants than I do on YouTube. I almost get 100% of the money that you would donate. So if you are going to follow the live feeds from now on, it's going to be on Rumble. If you want to drop comments, that's the only place you can do it. Well, that's the only place I'm going to see them, really, to tell you the truth, because it's the only place I'm going to be watching. So from now on, live feeds are going to be done a little bit differently. I'm probably going to do them here. I am going to resurrect the Peanut Butter and Pickles podcast on my own. Polly will be there as often as I can get it. I know that Polly is busy. He has a real job. He likes to remind me of that. He's like, well, you fucking poor, fucking real job, always begging for money on YouTube. And I'm like, hey, man, my videos get more views than yours. So suck a fat dick. At any rate, that's just how Polly and I interact. So I'm going to end this. I'm going to put up some community posts throughout the weekend. I'm definitely going to do some members only stuff. Please think about joining a membership. If you can support channels by doing super chats, absolutely. If you can join channels that have memberships, absolutely do that. Keep in mind, I personally think, and you can ask any of the paying members, that I do more for my paying members than any of the other channels that you're going to join. So we didn't touch Biden. Here's the thing. Biden absolutely is mentally impaired. He's too old for office. And to tell you the truth, there is no fucking way he's going to win. The reason that they're not doing any of the things that they typically do, where they have the debates and things, is 100% because Robert Kennedy, regardless of the fact it sounds like he gargled glass, is going to win the fucking he's going to beat Biden. They cannot put Biden in front of people at a debate. There is no way. You have a better chance of debating a toilet bowl than you do of debating Biden. He can't even fucking speak. Like he's like, oh, it's because he's got a stutter. That's not a stutter. That's not a stutter. Stutters don't make you forget words. Trust me. I had a stutter growing up. I knew exactly what words I wanted to say. I still stutter from time to time in videos. You hear it. I get stuck on certain things. He's not stuttering. He's got autism. Alzheimer's. That's the word I was looking for. So at any rate, guys, I love you all. I'm going to end this. I'm going to spend some time with my family. It's been 3 hours. I spent 3 hours with you guys. I got to spend some time with the wife, kid, and dogs. The wife, the kid, and the dog. I love you all. I'm out. Bye. Don't forget to join a membership. Where's the end broadcast button? There it is. Bye. Oh, I wanted to give you guys one more thing because I always forget because I put a lot of work into it.
Hey y'all, anybody got any quarters? Check it out. I can't make the horse work. I got the change.
I give up.
I did it for you. There was a lot of work that went into that. And I know it's not great, but I definitely taught it to myself. I'm out, guys. I'll see you later.